Hi, everybody. Nick Blazer here, back with the grand finals of the first Loutraki Grand Prix 2023. And your finalists through the undefeated side, 6 wins, straight path through to the finals, was Nodar Gagua. And on the second chance side is Felix Ziva, losing his first match and going directly to the second chance bracket and then winning 7 out from there. And both players in the finals of their side of the brackets defeating Ralph Jonas to get here. So, yeah, he was the end boss for both these players, but they've made it now. We can take a look at a little bit of bracket stuff too. Let's jump over there actually. They have followed through. If you go look at the brackets, this is the undefeated side. Nodar has knocked off some big names on the way here, like real giants list here in Akiko Yazawa, Jorgen Granstad, Elaine Babylon, Gili Davidovich we saw, and Ralph Jonas to get there. But only 6 matches to do that and got to take yesterday off, so probably a little bit more rested. As I mentioned with Felix Ziva, I forget exactly where he is in this part of the bracket, but lost his first match over here. There we go, to I think Maya Picheva. And then we hop over here, and he won one against one of the large Greek field here, and then followed his path over in this fighters bracket. Was it down? I'm trying to remember which way he went up here too. Yeah. So he's had to play a few more matches and a lot more play, and played all day yesterday. Yesterday taking out Martin Barkwell, another Greek player, and then Ralph Jonas in the finals that we got to see on stream. So no easy path to the finals here either. And it will be a true finals, 17-point match. So yeah, they're going to just play this one and a whole bunch of prizes up top for that. We can look at that real quick. We have this €32,000 prize pool available to be won, and the finalist is going to take home 18% of that. So what does that look like? That looks like 6-ish thousand, something like this. And I think first place is almost double that at like €12,000. And some of them, I think Nodar has taken some bonus for this undefeated bracket winner bonus down here too, for making it there and not getting a second life, and just to make this a true final. So a whole bunch at stake in this match. Should be a really exciting one. Very excited to get started too. And as Arda does in all his tournaments that I've seen, he's got this beautiful setup in, what is this? Some sort of like screened-in porch on the ocean side. But they tend to get some sort of nice luxury room, either a room upstairs or something different for the finals, separated away from the crowd, a lot more quiet. And the view looks nice. The room looks very peaceful. And this is where your players will be sitting at the board here. Nodar with his Georgia hat on the board already over here, all ready to go. Playing on this same, not sure where they got this board set up, but same thing we've been seeing all weekend. And we'll be getting started with this grand finals as soon as the players come on over the board. They're scheduled to start in a couple minutes here, but usually they show up, and Arda's got to take some photo opportunities and kind of set the rules with them and everything like that, make sure everything's square. So we might have a little bit before we get started exactly here, but I wanted to jump on to begin with, introduce the match, let you guys know it's coming, and get the stream all ready. And as soon as these players are ready, we will go with your grand finals of this, first ever Loutraki Grand Prix. I'm so excited for it. I'm going to send you over. This is such a beautiful ocean view here too. That looks nice, getting to see the waves in the background and everything. But okay, I'm going to take a small break or send you guys over to a couple ads, and then we'll be back with the grand finals shortly. Stick around. All right. See everyone organizing around the board there. So it looks like we're probably going to get started pretty quickly here. Art, the tournament director there in the background. I guess we have like a match official probably sitting in the chair behind the baffle box. Nodar on the left, Felix on the right. Nodar going to be playing the black checkers on the bottom, Felix the white checkers on top, most likely. I don't know, unless they switch things around. But yeah, looks like we're getting started real soon here. They've got the cool flags to mark the sides on the board there, too. A nice touch. But yeah, any moment now, we're going to be playing a 17-point match, grand final of this 87 entrance field. So these are the last two remaining. Nodar, the final undefeated player. Felix, one loss in the first round, then made it through the whole second chance bracket from there. And yeah, both of them playing pretty strong stuff on stream so far. I see Nodar out at a lot of tournaments. Very comfortable player. Probably like, I don't know what to like, has his style things that are going to like deviate from what XG wants, but seems to understand the checkers and positions very well. Was pretty aggressive with the cube even at leading scores. I remember noticing some small things we'll maybe see in this. And then Felix played just, really sharp, like grandmaster level stuff from what I saw in the one match that we saw there. I don't know if he always averages under a 4, but he was right there in the one match that we got to stream. So expecting pretty strong technical stuff from him. And it should be a good matchup. Well, they want the clock on the board, and then where does the cube go? You see him getting started up here. Oh, cool. We've got the stream team. Bogodar Ilyev, I think. Getting some video shots here of the finals, too. People will see some cool stuff after tournament for that. Looks like such a beautiful view there. What a nice playroom to experience the finals in. It's a spectacle when you make it this far. Nodar had to make it through 6 matches, I believe, after getting a bye. So it was like 7 rounds, 6 matches in that 87-player field. And Felix here has, I think he had to win 7 matches on the second chance side after losing his first. So 8 matches to get here, 6 for Nodar. All right, I'm going to figure out where the baffle and clock and everything should go. We'll get set up and get everything more beautiful looking. Most beautiful. Oh, looks fine from over here. I think this is Nodar's baffle. He brought it to his match. I like playing with a baffle box too. Just like nice for the flow of the game. You just toss the dice in there, makes a cool sound, all these kinds of things. Hope they didn't lose the cube. Nope. Artist still got it there. Yeah, we've seen them set it kind of off to the side of the baffle box when they're playing like this, or we've also seen them place it on the center bar. I've seen people try. I like Michael Messick's idea of just putting it on the board. Trying to figure out optimal layout, given the extra piece of equipment. This is the exciting stuff of the finals. All right. And the checkers out's a step in the right direction. Get the board to match him. Let's go. I'm excited for the 17-point match. Okay, we're going to play this way. Yep. That's cool. Either way. Maybe they got to roll for that. Can't let my opponent have any edges in like choice of checker direction and stuff. Yeah, I've never seen this like little felt piece on the bottom of the checkers too. This is an interesting design for the board. I would think that would be like really hard to move around and play with, but I don't know. No one seems to be doesn't seem to be messing them up too much. It's an interesting board design here. Always like to see new things show up there. Oh, nice. We have a pack of cigarettes on stream there, too. That's not an ad placement. I think all we can see is the warning, too. So. The Georgia hat's an ad placement, though. You got to watch tough Georgian fighter win in the UFC last night, too. It's a Georgian finals kind of day. No, a whole bunch of you watching today. Cool. Channel's growing. We're getting more people watching the stream. Thank you for helping grow this tournament page with us this weekend. All right, we're getting the photo of the start of the match here and everything too. Excellent. Oh, cool. There's Stefanos, the organizer of the tournament, showing up on the left side there too. Stefanos and Arda. Getting in the final shot. Making sure we have all kinds of memories to come back with. Welcome in the chat. All right, here we go. 3-1 open for Felix. That's a nice start. 5-4, can't do anything with the back checkers, so we're just going to play 2 down. And a 4-3. I think after our opponent brings a bunch of material in the zone, I'm not as inclined to split, but maybe because I have the point to defend me we're supposed to. Yeah, nice play by Felix. And 3-1. Okay, it is nice to split on a roll like this, where our opponent wants to make the 5-point. I don't think we can pass up making the 5-point anyway, can we? Yeah, wow. Okay. Going to strip the midpoint to make the 9-point instead. But what we want with that split is just to be able to pressure that 9-point blot after our opponent makes that best point. So nice to be there that way. 6-2 is probably, what can this do? It's just going to try to run by and play a simple game, given that he's way outboarded. Race is his best bet. And this is shaping up pretty nicely for Felix with the rack here. And I think he can complete a 5' in front of that single checker back, or he can complete his defense and leave a shot as the problem by making the 18. So I think we just go offense here. And it's hard to imagine exactly what the sequence is other than like a 2-6 that's going to keep Nodar alive in this game. The single checker behind a 5' is tough. Well, he's going to look at I think he's going to notice that he just has like, okay, he's going to make the anchor, but he's going to stay behind priming structure with this particular variety of it. And also not get a huge, priming gain by making the 7. All right. He's going to go with this, though, and just decides that the biggest feature is the mountain of checkers here on the couple points. And after 5s, he's probably happy. That's a little bit of counterplay of sorts. Nodar is going to make the ace, has good racing equity. Now he's totally in this game where even, I guess I'd probably still be sending this cube as Felix after that sequence if I had the prime. 5-4 is just nothing to do but play quiet in, I think. Oh, wow, he should go for the tempo hit. Okay, yeah, I can't let our opponent escape with a 6. And that's exactly what Nodar is going to try for. 4-5 gets the hit. 5 must come down with it. Okay. 3-6. That gets there from the bar. And now Nodar with a clear advantage in this game after we kind of followed a different path than expected. 5-4. That Does it want to enter higher? The 4 looks so bad on the other side that maybe we should just enter on the 21 and be able to play 8 to 3. I'm not sure. Yeah, if we enter on the 20, I guess 6 to 2 looks a little bit nicer. All right. And Nodar with an 8-pip lead and 3 checkers back. I don't think it's enough for a cube. I'm going to pause to think about it. If he was ahead enough, like maybe more in the 15 to 20 range, I think we could think about it. But here it just looks like work to do and plenty of racing equity for Felix, so I think we should just wait. It's not too far off, though. Decides to take a roll. 5s could end up being a market loser. Should be, in fact. That is a lot of pips in the race. Still doesn't have the 5 point, but should have an easy enough time getting these 3 points past. Doesn't look like enough contact to play this one out. Felix just going to start 2 new points. Looks fine. Here comes the cube. And still plenty of room to take on contact. Okay. That one with 21 pips is not going to be crystal clear to Felix, I don't think. But maybe. I don't know. I guess it looks pretty stacky. And are there shot levers immediately? I don't think so. They're not jumping out at me. But yeah, this one is a tough one to see enough contact to play out necessarily. And he's just going to let it go. Yeah, it's not too surprising to me. Okay. Yeah, but it's easy to underestimate how much it matters to have that 5 point made and how much problems that'll create in the bear in and bear off. And very unlikely that Nodar is going to be able to fill that in with his distribution too. At least unlikely he'll be able to fill it in safely. So on we go to 16 away, 17 away. Five, 6 gets to run and checker. Same for Nodar. And 3-1 is going to make the best point. Both still with stacks on the 13, though. 6-1 is going to unstack a little. 5-6 can't run now, so it's looking like 2 down. I guess, well, 1 down, and it could tempo hit on the ace. Yeah, maybe that's fine. I guess the purity is usually favored, but we're bringing a 9th checker into the zone, so that's often a theme that leads us to going for a more aggressive play there. 3 in to try to see the light, and the 2 down to contain looks good, and a builder. Like that play by Nodar. And Felix on the offensive here. He wants to pause and think about the cube. I don't think he has enough threat here to go, but has some good rolls that might like hit and cover, so things are looking good for sure. 4-1. What does this do? It can't really safety everything up, so he could just make the ace and prepare for contact. Is there some other better way to just... I guess he could just lift the blots 7 to 6 and then find a 4 as well. Maybe that's a little better. Maybe we don't want to leave shots here when we're slightly ahead in the race. Finds the best play there. 3-1 gets the point on head. Stepped into it and gets attacked as a result. Three, 6 just going to hop out. Okay. Make a bid for freedom instead of getting another blot involved. 3-2 gets to keep that checker back for now. And lift a blot. Okay. Yeah, maybe we could just go all in on the attack and have a lot of cubes when it works. 1-4. I guess... Yeah, the 4 is pretty weak if we enter deep anyway, so I guess we're going to provoke. Still got equal boards for now. And a lot hinging on this roll for Nodar. 3-1 is going to roll his structure forward, pointing on head again. He wants to think about just making the 9, though, and finding some simple progress towards home kind of roll. If we were way ahead in the race, maybe we'd do that, but given that it's even, I think we got to go for a little bit bigger. I think putting our opponent on the roof is going to take more pips away and potentially more when he misses us, of course, too, or fans or anything like that. Yeah, so I think that's exactly what he's doing, is catching up on the race count and trying to figure out if which game plan makes the most sense. Oh, cool. They're on the paused clock again. No, it's ticking, I think. I think it is ticking. Okay. Yeah, and decides that he doesn't want to break the 7 to make the point. Very interesting. And we got a 5-2. Let's see if I can get XG to be nice here. 5-2 is going to cover and hit. No, what was it? Was it a 5-5? Oh, I see. 5-2. And he gets a fan with a 6-5. Wow. Okay. And what does Felix have now? Still has to escape maybe behind this good structure. So, yeah, it doesn't feel like a cube quite yet, but pauses to think about it. 4s could be enough pretty easily. Now this is a big race lead with full freedom, and our opponent just has a single checker back with a 22 pip deficit, but he hits back from the roof. That's a great response. All right. One 6. He's going to enter and send a checker behind. And now I think Nodar back the favorite here. With a little bit of priming potential in a dead even race, you know, he can think about it now, but it feels like once we get our checker to safety, like, we'll probably have an easy take most of the time too, unless he rolls a big set or something like that. Doesn't feel like the time to me, but we must be getting close. 5-2 just comes around. And so here, I think, you know, if Felix doesn't do much, we have a nice threatening cube. Oh, 3-6 does everything, though. Hops out and hits. End that talk. And now Felix on a fan is the one with cube action again, or even just this weak entry. I think this is enough to send it. Maybe it's tough for Felix to clean everything up, but if he points on head or something like that, you know, just winning a gammon so often, and if he even just if he does just clean up, then he's just winning the race, right? The game and contact are pretty well over, better board and everything. So yeah, I'm not sure Nodar can take this. It's right on the borderline for those. We're all the way up to 17% gammons in this position with the material in the zone and the better board and everything like that. Still wins a decent amount, so wouldn't be surprised to see him feel like he needs to try this because the game's not over yet with the additional contact of the 2 blots around the board. It's a tough one to balance. Yeah, he's going to take it, play it out. We'll see how the follow-up goes for Felix. Is it a knockout or does he get some play? 6-4 is a bit of a knockout potential. I think we got to make the point on head. And when it works, we're winning a gammon. And if he enters, we're still doing great. Just as long as we don't get hit. What else does he want to look at? Okay, he wants to, like Nodar, think about, well, is there a simple just priming play here? But it just misses out on too many gammons. Wins only slightly more, you know? The risk of leaving these couple blots around is just very low after the best play. 4-3, 2-3, 4-5. Are those the only shots? I guess we still have to clean up when he enters, which is like a little bit of pressure on the position. So maybe in some sense it feels like overextending. But our opponent also only has a 2-point board, so even when we get hit, eventually, you know, things aren't so bad. Finds the best of it. Well played, Felix. And Nodar with the 2-3 to hit. All right. Felix going to be regretting his play. 1-6. Gets to enter and clean up for now, I guess. And now big piece of initiative gain for Nodar. Could escape, could build another priming point, could be right back in this game with a lot of different roles. The 5-1, I don't think it wants to run. I think making the flush 5 prime is a little bit better. Or 4 prime, yeah. It leaves a couple fly shots in the outfield, which is very dangerous when we get attacked back on the 23. So maybe this is a little bit big. I think I would end up doing it, but yeah, it must bring a lot of gammons in, but it also brings a lot of wins in. And his position's so like awkwardly stacked up on the 5 that it's just very nice to be able to develop that way. He's just trying to reduce shots, get hit a little bit less, so he's not attacked behind with 4-3-1, and it's just the 5 that hits. Okay. So he goes for that. Double 5s is going to hit then. But it's a little fast. I think all 3 are coming down and 1 into the 8. And now something like a 4-5, 4-6 just gives Nodar complete outfield control and priming potential. But if he fans, Felix is well set up to close out. 4-4, can't quite get away. Can it make any new points either? I guess it can point on the ace, but we really don't want to move our opponent from there. They're exactly where we want them. I don't see anything else, though. We can keep all the structure by making the deuce. Yeah, that does look better. Yeah, I think our opponent is at risk of cracking, like this next roll. Not with a ton of them, but so we just want to reduce their freedom and not take them, like when we take them off the ace, now if he enters higher and has numbers that can escape. So 2 in, 1's going to go for the hit with the lead in the race. Interesting. I'm no longer certain that we want another blot involved, but okay, finds a play pretty quickly. 5-5. Yeah, we still want to close out and win a gammon. Okay. And we're still under pressure of being attacked as well. So this is going to buy us a little time that way. I think it's more important to cover with the 2. And then the 5 with it's not so much fun. Felix needs a 6 pretty quickly. Would have liked to use that 2 to step up. 6-6. And 6-3. Okay. Finds freedom. Gets to hop out. Very nice shot for him. Lots of gammons here. 14, 20, 22 pips outside. Plus a little bit of... Okay, 2-4 is going to change that and reduce the pips outside count, which is very helpful for saving the gammon. Felix still needs to hit loose if he wants to try to win one. I think it's going to be worth it here, too. I would go for it. There's a huge swing in gammons, and we can still win after we get hit. Oh, also, there's just no safe way to play anyway. That's relevant here. And can Nodar find a deuce? 3-1. Nope. Ace or 7 to close out. Then we're on the path. 8. No such luck. Oh, but he can come in and just take the checker off, so no shots. Okay. This bear-off distribution is going to be unpleasant for Felix. So that's going to bring the gammon count down a lot. Double 3s fixes all that. I think. What does it do? Doesn't it just take 4 off? I think if we're like close in the gammon race, we got to try. But he wants to go for distribution instead. Interesting. This is the win play. So this like balancing in between is a little bit better. Okay, interesting. I probably would have just taken 4 off and hoped for the best. Gets another fan. 6-5 is safe. And 4-1 gets the 7-6 crossover, and we'll see if Felix has bought Nodar enough time to save this gammon now. Three in, 2 crosses over. Okay. Efficiently using all pips outside. 5-3, just 2 off for Felix. 6-5. Probably the most crossovers just comes from the back. Oh, the 5 comes in. Never mind. Yeah, that's a nice one to the 6. 4-3 is another 2 off. And aces. I see 2 of the crossovers. And we are just looking for most sets to get there, something like this. Maybe not. Maybe just good diversification. Yeah, sure. Can't see a big difference between that and shuffling to the 10 point. And 2 crossovers each time is going to be good enough for Nodar to save it if he can avoid a set. That's a good start. Yeah, the other distribution got that checker in with less pips outside. Interesting. All right, a little bit of extra 2-1 hope if he misses here. Not that many rolls that get in and take a checker off either. 4-2 is not one of them. Is it better to play 6-4 and get those 4s and everything? These are so hard to calculate for me. I've like heard this rule from Marty and Mochi and all kinds of people about like what this is similar to and how to calculate it, and I still just doesn't click for me. But okay, Felix just barely hangs on to the gammon, and is going to go ahead 13 away, 16 away. Survives the conservative bear off to still win that extra 2 points. Very nice. However Nodar played in the outfield, that 4-2 wasn't going to be enough to save it. All right, a 5-3 for Felix. Same for Nodar. Two-one first decision. I think we want to split and challenge a stripped 8-point. 5-3 is going to split itself too. Oh, he wants to go for the tempo hit instead. I don't think the building's that strong, so I really like the 13-8 here with only 8 in the zone. But it does make sure, he gets a big bonus when his opponent rolls double sixes like this too. And not enough to send a cube yet, but in good shape for sure. More important to cover with the deuce, huh? He could hit in the outfield too. Maybe I would rather send another checker back. These are very close. When I get away with this, then I've got 3 back and half escapes. Like, this just feels very strong. Of course, there is this. I think we're still ahead after we get hit with 3 back to just, only 2 back. So I'm actually kind of surprised that covering was stronger there. 5 and 3 around leaves a ton of fly shots. I don't think there's any way around that. 6-3, is that one of them? Yeah. Yeah, that reaches. Two, 1. We could make, yeah, I think we're going to make the 24 and hit in the outfield, of course. Send that third back. Early game hitting exchange. No one really coming out with a big lead yet. 4-3 gets to anchor up. The 3 has to, can just tidy up with a small racing lead. Yeah, no need to like break the 8 to hit and give away structure or anything like this quite yet. Aces, I think. I like this play when our opponent only has 2, but with the reinforced, it's kind of leaving a shot. I guess this is still probably what we do. I don't know. But it's just less strong because our opponent actually gets to mobilize a third checker back instead of having to like give up the anchor. So we're not as excited to volunteer in front of the anchor when they have it reinforced this way. 4-1, yeah, I guess the anchor. Wow, I'm confused about that one too. I don't know where making the bar point would land on there, since it just feels like a ton of shots that we're leaving. 4-1, too many points. We're just going to get the extra checker mobilized. 4-5 gets to hit and clean one of these up into the 6. Okay. Looks like a small advantage for Nodar in this position. Love to enter high, but then we have no ace. Love to enter on the ace, but then we have no 4. Too many points. What are we going to do? Nothing really lands on another one either. So maybe ace in and 8-4 is like blot reduction at least. Yeah, what ace do we play here? Oh, yeah, we can split it. I guess so. What could be better than splitting in front of the anchor and inviting our opponent to leave? 4-1, is it going to try? Doesn't have to. It could just play quiet here. Against a pretty strong board, it's not very clear to me. I also 13-9, 7-6 looks like a very reasonable candidate as well. Just try to move forward, see what our opponent does next. I'm not worried about what they're doing. Yeah, and when we open up the anchor, then we give that priming and attacking game plan to our opponent, and they're the only one that has it because they have an anchor, and we can't prime or attack that. So correctly finds the quiet play there. Well done. 6-5 links up and makes a blocking point out of the 10. That's a beautiful shot. 6-5 mobilizes the checker back on the 24. Actually, maybe it could. Is now the time to hit? Now it can hit and come around to the 9. Take over the race. Why does this look more reasonable this time? I'm not sure which, yeah. But they're quite close. Okay. He's going to go for the hit, find the best of it again. I guess because we still have to blot around in the outfield and just felt like a million returns, and now we get one to safety. So at least we're dealing with a little bit less. So the 4 is going to come in, and then any 2. I don't see a lot of duplication or anything like this. Yeah, probably the shallower points. I guess the 8 interacts with like priming structure, so maybe I don't know. Yeah. We get more returns when he hits. And does he even want to here? Probably not. Oh, we can get all the way to the midpoint. Okay. Yeah, I guess we are a little more hesitant to hang on to the anchor when we're ahead in the race. At some point, we have to escape and cash in on the race. So I think getting to safety is pretty strong. And ace in. Stacking up could be maybe just coming out to the 18 for contact is fine being down this much too. I don't know. Double 5s. That wasn't getting hit no matter what. Okay, so all 3 down. And we are cleared in the outfield, but we still have a straggler behind. It's going to be hard to get home. 6 to 1 a little bit better. Okay. So 3-2. Yeah, I think the 3's got to come out there, and then we can play 13 to 11 for containment. We're sad when our opponent hits, but when they hop out with like anything that comes to the 7, 8, 9, it's looking pretty good. And Nodar is ready to cube this. Trailing a little bit. Still has work to do. 47 pip lead, though. Any hits are going to be devastating. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of swing on this roll. And easy take for Felix. 2-1 is going to hit and continue. Okay. I guess it could hit and step up or something, too. How worried is it about being hit? He's going to go ahead and lift. Okay. 3-2 enters. And has to try to pop out again, I think. We just don't have a 3 that we want anywhere else. 11 to 8 is better somehow, huh? I'm not sure why that would be. Clearly wins more, but I guess getting a lot of another blot in the mix is going to give up a lot of gammon, so it's a little bit bold. 13 to 10 in option 2. They're all very close. Just gives up containment. Sometimes the ace can hit behind too, but he just instantly looks at switching 9 to 7. Yeah, makes good blocking structure in front of that 23. I don't think it's worth giving up the 3 and switching all 3 over there. Though we do get to step up with it. I don't know. It's a little bit confusing. We would love to do distribution things 6 to 5 too. Lots of options here, but probably 9 to 7 looks just that simple play. How interesting though. Yeah, we should go for that switch. It looks so strange to put 3 checkers on the deuce. And I'm also a little bit surprised that we would like step up with it. Okay, finds a little bit of both kind of play here. Can't be too bad. 2-3. Do we want to stay back for contact or hop up here? Oh, 3-2 can make a blocking point, so we probably have to do that. Yeah, I like that. I don't think he likes being back on the 23 right now, though. I think it's losing more gammons than games it's winning. 2-1. Does it need to hit loose? I don't think so. I don't see a whole lot of tempo gain. I think we just want to still have our single checker that we're dealing with and try to run home. But it's getting awkward to play 6 to 3. Yeah, and so that's going to get him to find the hitting play to try to make this simpler instead. Wins a few more gammons. Just loses a few too. But he gets away with it. Felix enters poorly. And we can play quiet behind, or we can slot and go for wins here. The upside on this slot still lets 5s out, even after we cover. So it looks a little weak. But 6 to ace is just very weak. So I don't know. Maybe it's a good quiet play. I don't really know. But favors the slot to try to win. Wow, I'm surprised it's a whole 7.5% more wins. The upside here, it's not so clear. Like I was saying, like only the ace is the comfortable cover. Maybe 3s, maybe there's more attacking. Yeah, he's going to go for it though. Okay, nice, fine, Felix. But we're not that happy to like cover with a 3, for example, and our opponent still has 5s out, which he's going to try for now. Why not cover the deuce, maybe? Yeah. Goes for the distribution instead. Fours. Gets to do something interesting. 1, 2, 3. It covers. Beautiful. How about we cover the 5? Making the 13 is pretty strong too, I guess, huh? Okay. Gonna hop out and hide a blot. Fair enough. We're down so much in the race with that blot behind anyway that I didn't feel like in such a rush for that. 6-5 gets the safety. That's a beautiful roll. And now Felix just rolling his structure home, waiting for contact. Two to the ace instead of one off the 7. Interesting. Okay. I would have brought one in there too. Six two. Doesn't have to worry too much about the gammons. So maybe you could play 17 to 15 and hope to make the bar point still, but this should be fine as well. The bar point not going to be essential to winning a game on contact should he get so lucky. It looks like 2 of these are going to the 3 point. And distribution getting a little weird for Nodar. This is the kind of thing that happens when we don't bring checkers in and kind of delay instead, though, I think. So we end up with more checkers deep behind, and the shots when we leave them, you know, happen with fewer checkers off. So this is why some aggression is kind of warranted in that bear in and bear off. Gonna take some small risks to avoid more difficult positions down the road. Double threes is going to clear 2 points in front. Now we have a disaster point in the 7 there to clear. See if Felix can find any sort of interesting amoeba splits here. Would they be worth it, or would they just create pick-and passes? I don't know for sure. 6-4 is just going to go to the ace. Oh, it doesn't want to introduce a blot. Okay. 3-2 forced. And Felix with a chance to turn this around on a 3. Almost always going to be enough. 6-2 has to run instead. And I guess he wants to stay back for a 2-1 in that case. Or double ones. Does double ones do anything good? I don't know. He just gets hit. And Nodar makes it by. And looks like it should be a simple 2-point win. 3-2 off. Oh, he's just gonna resign it with that. Okay. Well, just sixes it out. And on we go to 14 away, 13 away. Nice competitive match so far. 6-5 going to run all the way. Okay, nice start. Split is going to help contain that last back checker. 4-2, I think. Is it better now after having escaped to just make a point? Or do we still want to hit loose on the 7? They're almost tied now. Okay, but goes for the structural play. I think Nodar likes his structure, so nothing too surprising there. 6 out to anchor and 4 down. And can Nodar find a fly shot? No, he gets this forced double sixes instead. And Felix hitting with everything. And should have a nice structural advantage in this position if he can just hit here. 2 is going to hit, and the 3 is going to come down again, I guess. Even a ton of fly shots against a 3-point board, so I guess he doesn't have the structural advantage yet, of course, but rates to build well. Oh, wow, 11-8 has the safety up a little bit with the stronger board and all the action around. Yeah, that makes sense, too. Does look pretty loose to leave all these spots in the outfield. 5-1, would love to make the 5-point. Can it do it? Yeah, he's happy to just use the right spares and everything to make the nice, strong board. Risks a 4. When it's missed, it's doing great. Sixes is forced again. And we have a simple bar point holding game for Nodar with no outfield presence, though. So it's going to be 6 checkers on the mid and not a huge racing lead. And no 8-point to land on means that this is going to be a pretty weak cube, if a cube at all, for a long time. So I don't think he can send this one yet. Yeah. Oh, but he is going to get it in. Okay. Decides that his 15 pips is enough. Felix is going to take it. Feeling lucky. And we're going to burn 6 to ace. We'll see if the volatility of that early cube pays off for him. Felix just going to roll his structure home. Try to get some points ready for if Nodar should leave a shot, which is going to happen a lot of times in this particular position. Difficult to bring this one home safely. I think the midpoint can go now. Yeah. Not so essential for that contact. The 18 is the big piece. 5-2, going to bring another checker home. And so maybe, I mean, it's only 15 pips here, but now Nodar might be getting into reasonable cube territory. Okay, not after a roll like this. So Felix super happy to be sitting on a 2 cube right now with just a small margin in the race. 3 wants to cover the ace instead of, sure, instead of making the 3-point. Should all be fine. 6-1. It's just going to come in all the way, I think, and keep a couple extra 6s outside on the 7-point and keep the structure maybe. Oh, 7-1 instead, though. Okay. Nice find. Yeah. A little small technical stuff. 5-4 brings another checker to safety. Back to a racing lead, but not by much. And now Felix gets to run to a leading race by 6 pips. And I think it's going to be worth doing it, even though we love the contact here. There's no way to keep it without destroying our board and things like that. So we could come to the 14 and just stop there. But I think, again, once you're ahead in the race, just going and cashing in on that, even if it's a small racing lead, tends to be what the bot likes to do. And he's going to go for it. And, yeah, that's, I mean, notice only a 57% favorite, but a huge equity favorite, 335, holding a 2 cube in a simple race. Like, he's got all the power in this game. If he ever gets ahead, he can cash. Nodar's got to see the whole thing through. The cube of a lot of value in a game like this. 7 even, threatening to creep up on that cube every roll, really. 4 in and 3 down. Okay, yeah, that's good for distribution. I like that play. 5-1. So each time we're just going to see VC and how does Nodar respond? Does he catch up? Now he's down a pip. And 5s could decide the game right here. I'm not sure how I would adjust it at all. Maybe 1 pip further, 2-1. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. And he's just going to resign it. Nice. I love it. Knows the cube's coming. We'll log it as a double pass, though. 14 away, 11 away. And the early aggressive cube ends up costing him a little extra. Just 1 extra point. Could have won him an extra one, too. 3-5. Start to the board point. What is this? 14 away, 11 away? Okay. 6-2 is going to run past. I think maybe it can still split there, but okay. Oh, slotting's actually pretty good there, too. Interesting. 4-2 is going to hit in response and probably split with it. Nice play by Felix. And 5-4 can anchor or return fire in the outfield. That would be hitting in the outfield. But look at this. These are so close. I'm starting to learn that I look over the anchoring in front of the point and all these things a little too often. Ace-6 comes out. Hitting's just way more fun. 6 gets to hit. And does the 4 hit too? Yeah, we just continue. Hit twice. I like that. It's the first thing that jumped out. I don't see anything stronger. We got blots everywhere. Got to buy a little time to start to consolidate and come around. This could result in a nice attacking position in the end. See how it goes here. 3-2 can cover. And does it do much to hit again? I'm not sure. Now maybe I just try to like get home to safety. I don't know. Oh, yeah, we could hit. Yeah, that's much better. Of course we could have hit and covered that way. 4 hits, the deuce. A little weak again. Oh no! That's how much he hates the 2. Throw the baffle and the flags on the floor. Terrible roll. All right. After we hit, I think the 2 probably just comes down 13-11. Yeah, that seems fine. Such a nice setup, but fragile. In 20-18, I just didn't want to give 6s from the bar, so I have a slight preference for 13-11, but it is another blot, so counter arguments both ways. And Nodar happy to mix it up last time, so I think, yeah, anchoring and hitting loose seems like his style again. Looks okay here. 6-5, the better hit, though. Ace 3 gets the hit back again, okay. Yeah, so Nodar used the better spare to use off the 8 point, but didn't fight for the better point. The 6, where can it go? It's just going to come around in front of 2 checkers. Yeah, I don't know if I see anything better. Maybe even down could be fine. But this is not shaping up well. And I think Felix with a nice bit of initiative here now. Could be anchoring, but is going to choose to hit instead. I think that seems good here. Maybe we just want to clean up 11-8 and try to consolidate a racing lead and checkers back too. Yeah, stepping up looked like something too. Maybe we make a high anchor more often when we're hit back, but it just feels loose and like we're going to be hit back quite often this way. Guess 5 in and we're going to try for the 4 point again. What else could there be? Really needs a miss one time there. And Felix not going to give it to him. Hits again. And then do we want to link up? I think we just go for the second hit on the 5. Yeah. It's so nice to make the 15, but we're going to leave 6s from the bar and all these things. And I don't know. This is just a very nice tempo to maybe get to make the 5 point. But Nodar performs well from the bar. Felix just looking for an anchor of his own. Oh, he gets both of them after all anyway. Nice shot for him. It ends up 41 pips ahead in the race. Just needs to keep finding quiet structural plays to bring this around. Nodar gets a nice improvement in that higher anchor there too. Happy to switch off the ace 4 to the 4-5. 2 blocking points in front of a made point behind is going to make Felix's position feel pretty stiff. And I think this should be happy to hit and continue around. We don't need an anchor against 6 in the zone. We need to get off it and come home to the race. And so I like this play. 5-4. What can this one do? Can just hop out? Yeah, okay. I don't feel a strong preference. I guess we'd rather not take a checker off the midpoint either way. So this must be pretty good. 5-2. Looks like it's going to hit. Doesn't need to hit? Okay, he's just going to consolidate. Yeah, okay. I don't mind that at all. Yeah. Just wants to make pieces of structure and kind of walk this home quietly. What is Nodar going to do with his roll? Not much anyway. 6-1 just comes around. Okay. Needs to fill in that 5 and 4 point quickly, Nodar does. And Felix, what can he do? Just gets to bring a checker to the 6, I guess. But that's unfortunate. Really wanted to do more to start like building landing points in front. Take the opportunity to clear. Was there something better? Yeah, not really. 6-1 comes in. Okay. Just quiet stuff. And I think the contact's too good to be thinking about cubes anytime soon here. 5-1. What can we do? We've got to come up with something. Something's going to leave a shot anyway. Yeah, I mean, from the rear tends to seem like the easiest thing. This, do we really want a point that interacts with 2 of the anchors? I'm not sure about that. I really don't know what to do with it. Tempo hit a little bit better, okay. But the 10 is a candidate. A little closer to home, a little more landing points. Nodar gets to make the next best board point. Nice improvement for him. And 2-1. Maybe we could roll forward to the 9 point now. Or just clean both blots up. Yeah, that seems much better. Yeah. 3-2 gets the slot. Okay. And making the bar point would be a huge improvement here. I don't know about the 9, but I guess we would take it. This looks like it'll just stack up the 8 and prepare to clear both the rearmost points. Interesting that tempo on the ace keeps being an option while Nodar's board is weak. We do want to reduce that contact at some point. We have this awkward stack of 5 checkers on the 6 that is not working for us and well frozen by those 2 anchors. So where else can it go but behind to try to clear contact? And 5-1. The midpoint's the next to go. Yeah, sure. I think I agree with that. Felix would be happy with a 1 to buy him time to escape, though. 6-2, no such luck. Looks like it's going to have to leave a shot somewhere. Kind of a nasty one, too. Can we do, like, I guess the least blots and shots is just 2 off the 8, but our distribution looks so weak out there. Very stripped. Huge stack on the 6. Hard to imagine how this is going to come home safely. And so Nodar is covering, keeping the contact in the mid again, I think, too. Yeah, just 2 in. Make the 4 twice. Looks nice to me. Oh, what is this? 13. We really need to get off that and not leave aces to escape. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I understand why that is. It looks very nice to keep contact with that midpoint to me. Some sort of tactics there. I can't see it immediately, though. This looks like a good play to me. 2-1 is going to switch to the ace and reduce the contact zone. Okay, that's clever. I like that. Nice find, Felix. And 3-5. 3 is going to hit. What is the 5 doing? I guess just coming down. Yeah, we don't want to give up an anchor quite yet or anything like that. A little lacking in mobility back there, but what is this now? Nodar must be favored in this game, right? 14 away, 11 away. Risking some gammons. Has some work to do to bring the material around to close this out, so Felix with the racing lead going to snap take that. But quite a few gammons here. Not a bad cube at all. Take, and 5-4 is going to run around. And Felix knows, even though he's on the roof, he has so many pips to work with that he can keep trying this for a little while. Ace-6 has to hop out to a double shot. 5-5 can't hit it, though. What are we doing with this? It's another one of these where we have 3 good ones, and I don't know what to do with the 4th. I guess the race is so close that 21-16 has to be part of it. And, yeah, maybe just 1 blot instead of 2. That seems strong. What's better? 21-16, 21-11. Wow, we should leave blots all over the place and duplicate 4s. And have the 8 point. That's a tough one to find. 4-3. Can not get to safety. Has to come into a new direct and challenge our opponent to break a point to hit us. But, I mean, of course, Nodar will be happy to do it. Thank you, Backgammon77. Nice to have y'all here. Nodar misses, but makes another board point. And Felix, not with enough racing lead to feel comfortable holding the cube here either, but still looking for his primary game plan has always been of just like clearing this safely. Nodar's contact with all these strip points outside is still very strong. 6-2, sure, we can just reduce shots in a close race now. Ace-6 is going to have to leave a shot somewhere. I think we can make the bar point to get home. Oh, it doesn't have to. It can just play behind the ace. That's going to be much better, yeah. I thought we were stripped on all those points. 3-1 comes around. Okay. 10-6 wants to keep the midpoint contact instead. Now it's right to do, huh? Okay, clears the 10 point without leaving any shots. Felix still just trying to play quiet with the racing lead. And Nodar patiently waiting for a shot from the 20 point when Felix has to clear the mid. 6s does not have to leave a shot again. Just makes a giant stack on the 5. And actually, I think probably has a fine recube from this position even. and can lose some games, on contact. But I mean, 24 pips, I think, is just going to be too much to deal with here. And I expect this to come back as a double pass. Never improves his structure at all. Just plays this like ugly stripped points everywhere and stacks and looks to get away with it. This many pips, I'll be kind of surprised if Nodar wants to take a little deeper and play it. So yeah, he is going to let this one go. And once again, suffering the 2 points on the recube after his own initial cube. The turnarounds are not his friend. Looks like the players are going to take a short break here after this 14 away, 9 away scoreline. So we will take a short break as well, but exciting matchup so far. It's always fun to look at that match progression too. I'll get you a quick shot of that just in case. So the short break here, he's coming to grab some water. I don't know how long they're going to go there. We'll give them a second and see if they get started right away. But in the meantime, let's look at this fun window. I always enjoy seeing all the swings here. Been quite a back and forth battle so far. We can make this a little bit bigger for us too. But so Nodar was a small favorite early on. It looks like he won one game and then had the second game turned around on him. And those turnarounds keep like punishing him, right? He keeps climbing back and then the turnaround happens and he drops again and he drops again. So yeah, going well for Felix so far. That's good for Nodar. Looks like he's talking to the gallery, his fans out there maybe. I don't know how many people get to be in this room with them. But okay, we'll take a short break and be right back. 14 away, 9 away, with the continuation of Nodar Gagua and Felix Ziva in the grand finals of this Loutraki Grand Prix. Thanks, everybody. All right, we got Nodar returning to the table there. Arda in the shot as well. Match viewer there. Pointing out the camera. Pointing at me. That's where Nick is. But yeah, tough run for Nodar so far. Running into a lot of turnarounds from Felix. Can't get things quite working. Both playing a pretty good match so far, though. It's been an interesting one with some tricky decisions. Yeah. We'll see if Nodar can find his way back into it. Kind of roughly what we expected on the XG side still, too. Like seeing more style kind of deviations from Nodar, and he gets into the games that he wants to. Felix playing pretty sharp on there, too. And it's been a good matchup so far. You know, he's Nodar has definitely had his chances to get lucky and take a lead in this match. And just Felix getting the dice to turn that around and stay alive there, too. Putting him in some tough positions. It's still, even if the cube's early, it's not fun getting one as an underdog, right? Like, it still means that usually you're going to end up down points on that. It's just better than giving up the 1 point. But yeah, we should be returning back. Beautiful ocean view that they get to play there, too. I wonder if you can, like, hear the ocean in that room as well. I don't see anyone out on the beach. I wonder if it's kind of cold or if the weather's nice there this time of year. There's like mountains I can see in the background there too. You guys can't see that high on the camera. But it just looks like a gorgeous view in that room. Super nice. Maybe they're up on a stage of some sort too. Otherwise it looks like the room is probably like glass doors in there. Getting some photo opportunities while we wait for Felix to come back to the board. Big smile over there. Excellent. And yeah, 14 away, 9 away. What does the match equity tell us are the chances here? I think it looks like it's more differentiated than I would have guessed. It's actually 28% for the trailing side and 72% for the leading. I don't know why that surprises me with so much match left to go, that 5 points would matter that much. But that tells me, as well as we've seen in some cube action puzzles that we've talked about lately, that I've talked about on my channel lately. That means that we're definitely going to have some aggressive recubes coming in from Nodar, I think, and some impact on the initial cubes. So probably already needing to adjust the score a little bit here. And I like that from the RAC London, the recube. Oliver found a really nice 4-8, trailing in a 13-point match. And the explanation that I got from it, what was it? It was 13 away, 9 away in the 4 cube there. So when he sends it to 8, you know, the 9 away player is still going to get full value of those points. But those points are happening when the leader wins in like a 13-point match. And so we can think of those as less valuable in a sense than the extra points Oliver was going to get in a 9-point match. Since if we split up the equity of each point across the match, they probably should find that there's smaller jumps in a 13-point match with each point than in a 9. So I think strong potential for that effect to come in here on 4, and especially a 4-8 cube if we got that deep into it. But that's a little less likely too. Hard for Felix to find recubes to 4. But we saw the sequence. It can happen in the end game in a really tight race, you know. That tends to be where those get in correctly. As long as there's a long game and gammons to go, then the leader's just too conservative to give such a weapon over. But yeah, we should be back with more gammon quite soon. More gammon. More backgammon. Thanks for joining me in the chat too. It's been fun all weekend. I love doing these streams. Love doing commentary in general. I can't tell, I don't know. I haven't felt like my game's like super sharp lately. But sometimes after watching a lot of it, I feel like I'm starting to get, gets me back in the rhythm or something, you know. I hope I am helping people understand what's going on in the match too. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to answer those too. I pay attention to the chat there too. I'm always watching anyone that leaves comments. I am running this on a 3-minute delay, so I'll probably get to your question a little bit late. not in like real time. But yeah, I appreciate the company in there too. It's nice to have people to talk to. So I'm not just talking to myself all day. But okay, I'm not sure. It seems like we're still got a little more break to go, so I'll send you back to a little more interlude music and such. Be back soon. The continuation of this 14-away, 9-away matchup between Nodar Gagua and Felix Ziva. All right, they're back to the board. We're going to get going here. Hop back over to that commentary layout. And off we go. Right back into the backgammon action. We'll see if Nodar can find his way back into this. 5-2 going to open with a split. If I can get XG to catch up with me. And 6-5 runs, okay. And 6-4 gets to make the bar point. Fairly simple game to start. Nodar with a decent advantage with that anchor, I would say, in a small racing lead. And Felix under pressure to escape that blot. If he gets away with this, then he's doing fine in the game, but he's given up a 3 to just kind of lose all that racing equity right off the bat. So not the best place to be in. 3-6 looks like it's going to play down. Okay, and Nodar with a ton of threats on a weak entry here. And maybe at this score, he can already think about sending a cube on the threat of pointing out ahead or something like this. Normal score, this would be pretty early, I'm sure. But yeah, we do have a borderline cube at this score already. But he's going to cruise past it. I think I did notice that his score adjustments weren't like super consistent with anything I'm used to or anything like that. Maybe he was even like more willing to send at leading scores than I expected, and not really sending super aggressively as a trailer. This is looking like a strong opportunity to get back in this match now. 5 is pretty weak though. What are we going to do with that? The ace to cover is obviously nice. Maybe we can just go for gammons, but maybe it's better to keep the structure and play down 13-8 right now and risk the ace out there. Guess I like that. Very close, both plays. And he finds the gammonish play instead. Well done. Yeah, I guess 11 checkers in the zone is a lot. 5-6 is going to try to get to freedom. Stop being pounded on here. And 2s is going to stop that idea. The 2 hits, and then do we want to make the 5 point, or do we want to just go all the way to the ace and not leave any shots on board? I'm not sure with the blitz on. Maybe we should just make the deep point and try to close out. No, the purity is better. Okay. Oh, 18-14 and just race is interesting too. Before we send the cube is probably a big part of it. Ace hits. And the deuce, we want to step up and try to escape, sure. And Nodar's still not ready to send the cube. I bet he's still got one from the bar here even. And uncomfortable one to take for Felix. 2 in, 5 going to hit. And so it feels like he's just decided he's going to play this game and try to win a gammon, which is a way that a lot of people think about the cube. They don't like to leverage it to win games with threats or anything like that or get it in time. They just think if there's a lot of gammons that they should play on and try to win a little bit more. Here I don't see anything other than 11 and 6. What are we... Do we need the tempo hit to cover? Oh, we could switch 4 to 2. That's an interesting idea. Maybe that is worth it to try to slow down the coverage. I don't know. Oh, we can just play 3 down from the 11-2. Yeah. Okay. And Nodar is pausing to think about it now. Okay, okay. He sees something at this point. Here it comes. Still right on the borderline. Interesting moment there. I'm not sure what changed for him exactly. But he finds gets the Cuban in time before he loses market, which is always quite important. 5-2 can't really comfortably attack or continue the attack without leaving 2 blots on board. So I think we probably just give up the 8 to cover. That'd be my idea anyway. Wow, we should just contain and leave it there. Why would this be better? Because we don't want to be attacked in back. We don't want to leave the aces to neutralize the race. 5-6 escapes with tempo. 4-point board looks pretty strong to me, though. I guess it allows our opponent to run with 6s too in a relatively close race. So maybe the blocking value of the 8 is just more important for this one roll than the 3. We'll cover it later. Okay. Yeah, it does seem to focus on priming and containment when we keep the 8. Come out and bring a checker to the outfield. Yeah, that would be... Feels like a pretty natural idea, though, to just roll that forward. And what happens now? 5-4 is going to try once again to run. See if Felix can get it away with it. Is this the 3rd time now, I think? It's been getting sent back every time so far. 5-3 doesn't get there. Okay, and here we are again with Felix sitting on a pretty comfortable 2-cube now that he's escaped this contact. I guess the 3 coming around and maybe the 5, 23 to 18. Does it want to reduce contact? The race is good, but our board's so good that I'm not sure. But we could run out of time if we don't, so maybe we do need to get moving now. I would lean towards the simple play of 23-18 and 13-10. It gets unclear, though. When we have a 4-point board against our opponent's 2 and we're trailing in the score, want to win gammons, like the contact seems so nice. Yeah, I guess we just don't have space in the position for it. We're going to regret not having made some progress too quickly. And I think he's just checking in on the race, making sure he's not, if he's down a ton, maybe he needs to stay for contact. If it's close, maybe he wants to go and be safe. Trying to figure that all out real quick. It looks like he's going to settle on the best play here. What do we have? 6-3 gets the safety of the blot. That's the important part. And continues on to the 5. Sure, sure. 2-1 could make the 8-point. Would be useful, but this is fine too. Keeps all the structure together. And this is exactly the kind of game that Felix wants to be playing here. He's slightly down in the race and needs to find a way to catch back up, but he's not risking a whole lot. Just 2 points when it goes wrong, and he could get another 2 points to get closer to home. But as long as there aren't gammons to get Nodar like almost equal in the match, he's happy. Nodar just patiently shuffling checkers around. Waiting for his set to escape is what he's going to go for. I don't think he's going to have any opportunities to run with like a 5-3 or a 5-6 or something like this. Covers from the rear. Felix hoping to catch up with a big set or just wait for his opponent to leave a shot. 2 checkers in looks nice. Oh, he wants to save a 6 though. Okay. Playing to the ace seems pretty deep, but maybe there's nothing better we can do. Oh, it's interesting to just make the 2 as well and hope to remake something later. And Nodar already on the idea with a decent lead in the race of saving 6s to make sure he doesn't have to come off that bar point. He's going to be happy apparently to give away his board in the contact and just save time to run us safely. Felix going to get the board ready? Sure. Ends up giving up the 6 outside instead. Okay. 4s can't escape quite yet. Gonna crash. So does he want to do something like 6-2, 5-1 twice to keep the two checkers outside and keep more high numbers playable? He could make the 4 and do two things like that too. I guess we make the 4 and 6-2. Okay, what is this? Keeps 5s to play? Okay. I guess the 6s are blocks, but that must be the idea. Doesn't want to. The low one's 4, and then I guess we can. If we make the ace, then our 8 can cover the 3. If we make the deuce, then it's hard to get to the ace. So probably tactically a little bit better there. Small stuff though. And Felix actually a small favorite with the board purity in this position. Interesting. 1-6, no 6 available. So not a bad roll for Nodar to not have to leave a shot at least. 3-2 is going to get to clear the 8 points. And I don't think it wants to risk leaving a shot to make the 5-point board against a 5-point board of his own. So 2-in looks nice to me as well. 8-3 being the alternative to have our board ready. 5-3 does not have to run yet, but if it goes, it reduces to 3-1. I think we just, wow, we should go for that. It's the weakest double shot we can leave. Okay. That's an interesting one. Tough to pull the trigger on that play. 4-6. Well, it could do this and maybe thinking we're going to reduce shots and have returns when we get hit. But if we go from the 13, we get to make a 5-point board. So maybe the board seems a little bit nicer here to me. Yeah, I don't know how much it reduces shots anyway. Or how many returns it gets us. If we get hit, you know, we still have to enter on the 6 or 5 and hit back. There's some duplication. So, yeah, just, I mean, instinctively, it seems like we would always want the earlier point to go. Nodar helping him find go. But here, I think our contact from the 11 is strong enough. Yeah, nice find, Felix. That's an easy one to get tricked on. And 6-5. Okay. That is a beautiful shot for Nodar. And I think all that hits from the roof is 6s. 5-1 enters and creates some good contact, though. Let's see. My extreme gammon is getting slow. We have a 5-4 after it. See if I can get it to catch up here. 5-1 breaks. 5-4 makes the point. So that's nice, safe roll. Progress towards home. All beautiful stuff for Nodar for sure. 5-4 for Felix now. Okay. 5 in from the back, and he could slaughter, just bring another checker in. I don't see a strong preference for either. I don't think we want to go. I think we still want to stay for the contact for some bad 6s and 5s and 4s. But probably just 2 in is fine. I guess maybe, well, yeah, what's wrong with slotting the deuce, though? Even if we hit, I think we're ready enough. Happy to have to cover that. I think that's fine. Really close, small stuff. 5-4 gets by again. Seems to be the only number on the dice currently. 6-5, it's going to be tough to get back in the race for Felix here. At least Nodar has a lot of wastage. But he is, I mean, 35 pips a lot ahead is a lot to make up. So likely going to make his way to 12 away, 9 away. 4 in and 1 can get closer, sure. Oh, he played the other way. Oops. And Nodar had like a 4-1 and a 5-2 in. Okay. And another 4-1 type of thing. And a double 6s. Is this enough to give Nodar a sweat? 5 roll position for Nodar. And 5 roll with no misses for Felix. So no misses and a set. And he can get there. Okay, that's going to lock it up for Nodar pretty much. And Felix happy to resign this one. And on we go to 12 away, 9 away. What do we got going on in the shot here? Someone asking for something. Maybe spectators want to come and watch from closer. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Yep, 3-point lead. Okay. Ace-6 open for Felix. Nice shot for him. Same for Nodar. And 3-2, probably like 2 up is fine. Something like this. Splitting 2, of course. Just got to get the back checkers moving against the priming potential somehow. 3-2 going to point on head. Beautiful follow-up. And 3-6 gets the hit back from the bar. Okay. So 3 checkers back for Nodar, but the better board too. 4-2 is probably going to do a whole bunch of splitting, I guess. Yeah, I usually prefer the higher one, but I guess, yeah, we don't want to be under the gun to that checker on the 11, so this looks nice to me. 6-2. Can just make the 16-point, huh? Yeah, keep it simple for Felix. Has a nice outfield anchor. Hoping to avoid some 7s, 8s, and 10s. A 9. A 9 gets the anchor. That's a good roll. And so should be able to continue this game for a while. This is the kind of game, though, where Felix should not have to adjust to the score very much at all. Gets a giant racing lead as soon as I say that. And is 1 roll away from clearing the midpoint. I think we got a cube incoming next time. 36 pips seems like enough to me. 3-1 gets to make the point, but the contact looks good too. So I think Nodar can still take this one, but he's going to skate right past it. Wow, okay. Surprised at that. 2-1 is just going to play 11-8. I guess. I mean, this must be a score adjustment too, just thinking about, you know, not wanting to let his opponent back in the match too easily. 16 pips is enough where I guess that's going to slow him down again. Hasn't made any board points of his own either. In with the last one, sure. Shouldn't matter too much how we shuffle those around. Maybe 6-2 to start a point is okay as well. 6-1 gets to make the 5-point and only leave fly shots. And I expect if he gets away with this that he'll be finding the cube there. But the 6-1 gets to hop out and hit. Okay. Nodar with the turnaround. Let's see how Felix does from the bar. And a 5-6 is a fan. What is this? This looks like a gammonish cube. He's going to pass onto it. So yeah, again, I guess the gammonish positions he wants to play for more. Doesn't want to cash that in so easily. So he's going to keep kind of coasting by these, but Felix still had a take. Would be happy to play that one potentially. 2 in, 8-5. That's what he's missing out on by not sending it. And now that he's entered, the gammons are going down, so he feels like he should send it and probably right on, you know, easier take for Felix. But this is still pretty scary against a 4-point board. He has to notice that his opponent still has 2 checkers behind really good structure in this 4 prime. So he's got a ton of counterplay and a ton of wins, well over a third of the time. We'll see if Felix can figure this one out. Or if he's going to be overprotective of his score lead, maybe let this one go early. No, he's going to play it. Okay, nice find from Felix. And 4-4 just looking to hit somehow. Gets the point on head even. Beautiful shot. Can't escape either of the back checkers, so a little bit of risk there. But, I mean, he'll take the 5-point board any day for sure with his opponent on the roof. And this could be the first match lead for Nodar. Five, 4 is going to hop out and come around. Okay. Yep, primarily looking for mobility with those back checkers, but already also trying to get things in range of attacking on the ace for when his opponent enters to make that closeout. And 6-5 gets to hop out. Beautiful. And the 5 can come in for more ways to attack on the ace. I think that looks nice. If we play 16 to 11, we're thinking about ace 6. And that we want the double shot when he hops out. And that seems to be the priority, too. Okay, nice, fine. 1, 2. Enter, starts, just brings one in to lose less gammons. That's probably prudent. 6-1 can just make the 11 point with a huge race, but every roll that he lets his opponent have is saving a ton of gammons, so getting more and more likely that Felix is at least going to save 2 points of this. Yeah, 4s is a huge shot for that. I think you can make 8-4 and waste the pips, but the 13-9 is just so important to me. Like, just, those 8 pips of gammon saving are huge. So he could, make use of 2 extra pips by playing in 9-5. But, yeah, the structure for the contact is probably worth something here, too. So I think that trade 8-4 makes sense to me. Okay. Gonna find that. I'm not sure if he was just thinking about making a 4-point board to defend himself instead. Okay, 4s is gonna close out and come into the 5-point to avoid leaving a shot on double 6s, I guess. And this is only 8 pips outside, so probably, there's small ones with lots of crossovers. I think 5-3 is probably fine here. But, probably worth a little bit more than 8 pips on average, so maybe a little bit more than 10% gammons, something like this. Yeah, we can just take this 10. And so Nodar needs to play aggressively for the gammons here, too, and risk things like that odd checker on the 5 to try to get there. And gammon's going up. Okay. So the threat's back on. Even after those 4s were able to save a ton of pips. Okay, 5s is going to save most of the gammons again. Comes all the way around to the 5. And looking like we're going to move on to 10 away, 9 away. Felix's lead is dwindling. Nodar getting back into this. And ready to resign it. Okay. On we go. Down to a 10-point match already from 17. Nearly through half the points available. And a 3-6 open for Felix. Going to start with the normal splitting move. Nodar going to return with the hit, I do believe. He did switch to the point in that one situation, but knows that on the second roll he can still hit. And 5-6 returns fire from the bar. Beautiful shot for Felix. 2-6 enters and hits loose on the bar as well. 1-6 sends another checker back. Seems to be the typical story. Many checkers back for Nodar. Likes playing from there. Points on the 5. And I don't know if we want to strip our mid to get something into action. So something from the back checkers. Maybe 23-20 is fine to keep the 24 for now. The quad split looks okay too. We can just lift the blot instead. That's kind of nice too. Make sure we don't lose our 8th checker in the zone. What does 4-2 do? Maybe the best you can do is just lift the blot 10-8, given the situation. Looks pretty ugly. This distribution just looks so much worse, but it's less under attack, so I understand not wanting to be on the 4-point. 5-2 looks like it's going to make the 8 and the 20. Beautiful structure improvement for Nodar. And Felix, once again, just looking for some way to scrap this game home. I think he wants to hop 18-16 for sure, and then he can link those up 23-22. Yeah, that looks nice. Opportunity to use a 6 to hop out and connect. 4-2 with the double anchor. Oh, he's going to hit. Yeah, I forgot that he could do that. So 2 down, I guess. Otherwise, making the 4-point, we're not worried about. Wow, you still can make the 4-point here. Yeah, it unstacks the 6. We're not worried about being sent back or anything like this with 4 back already. So, and he gets a fan out of it. What is this now? It's only slightly down in the race. Yeah, another one of these gammonish cubes where he's just going to move through it, but big threats there. He's passing up. This is the kind of sequence where his opponent won't be able to play again afterward, probably. So, hesitant to give up the 8 point. Interesting. He does really like his outfield structure here, too, I've noticed. But that board point just powerful with his opponent on the roof, I think. 4-2, can't anchor. So I think it wants to get out of the way of the mountain. Why not 23 and out to the 18? Yeah, I like this. I like this play, Felix. And that was better than 8-4. Wow, he found a very nice play. Ace-6 gets to hit twice. Go for the attack this way, okay. No cube after that one either, yeah. Okay. 5-2 hits once. That's going to be a lot of life for Felix. 5 checkers back makes the blitz a lot weaker looking. But he does have quite a bit of material in the zone. 3-1 I think wants to enter high and smooth out 6-5. Distribution a little bit better, and Felix just looking for some sort of anchor. Second best is maybe hidden from the roof. I guess the 6 can hop out to the 17 and try to escape again. No need to get another blot involved. And not sure exactly what Nodar is looking for. And ace is kind of weak because he'd rather make a board point. But he'll take that. That's another double hit. Trying to see if he can get his opponent to stay out and miss one time. And if he can, that initiative is going to be worth quite a bit. 2-5. So we've got something here. And now he's ready to send the cube. Okay. A little bit smaller, a little bit more progressive. Again, yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly what like the difference in this volatility that he likes to send on is with a little bit like earlier or later. Very interesting. 6-3. So he's going to hit for sure, and then he gets to pick between which to cover. The spare distribution looks better after covering the other one, but he gets a fan this way. Had a feeling. 3-2 is going to cover it, and the 2 must need to start getting moving from the back now. Running out of material on the front side quickly. Two 6 is going to fan. 1-6. Yeah, maybe the 22 just goes all the way so we can keep the anchor. Otherwise, 20-13 is fastest way to get a checker into the mix. 1-3. That's a nice place to enter for Felix. 5-1 is going to try to take him off that, even though we only have 7s to cover. Maybe this is one where advancing 2 to ace actually brings more checkers in range or something. But yeah, with the lack of material, he shouldn't even go for it. Okay, very interesting. 4 comes in. And we can see why here with these 10 checkers in the zone, that it puts a lot of pressure on the follow-up for Nodar here. 5-3. Yeah, must want to come around 15-10. And maybe just 18-10 was fine, actually. But 8-5 too. Okay, he really doesn't want to be hit there. I'm kind of surprised. It's not clear to me that my opponent wants to come off the 4 to hit. Maybe some aces that enter and hit twice are a little bit rougher. Nice shot from Felix. Oh no, and a fan from the bar here too. And Felix with all kinds of initiative here, but a lot of structural work to do to bring a position like this home. 6 is going to hit and continue, and that's a big step along the way. Now he's got 2 on the roof. Should he get another blot on the 7 point? Is he going to think about hitting on the bar instead and bringing 2 down? I guess that's like a play too, but it's just so good to get this checker most of the way escape too. Our diversification looks great. I don't know, I just don't see it. Why not? I mean, I can't. What other play would there be? Maybe just running 20-14 or 24-10 or 24-14 or something like this too. All right, hops around. Some big sets available for Nodar, but otherwise 2 on the bar, nothing going to hit back this roll. 6-1 only enters 1-2. Okay. And Felix getting there. That's a big improvement as well. 6-2 I think is worth it to hit again. And we can cover the 11 with the deuce. I'm not sure exactly what value that is. Maybe he's going to rethink it. I think we got to hit to buy the tempo to try to get around here. But I guess play B is probably hopping. He could hop out to the 18 and cover the 11. Oh, that actually doesn't look that bad now that I see it. Yeah. Very interesting. 2-1 is going to enter 2. And so, yeah, what it didn't accomplish was escaping this last checker, which can still be attacked with 4s. Leaves a lot of extra work to do. And with this roll, for example, we'd love to just cover the 7 point and break the mid, but then we can still be attacked. I think it's still worth it. He's got a ton of structure in front of these 6 checkers back. And 2-1 is not going to attack. We can make the 22, though. Make another checker back. Does he want the 22 or the 23? Maybe the 23 is a little better, and we could just play 2 off the 24. Interesting. I don't know. Seems pretty natural to just make the higher anchor, but maybe the interaction with the 8 could be a little bit better. 6-5 gets to run for Felix. That's a beautiful shot. And he must be favored in this game now. Nodar under some pressure to generate some timing for the back game that he's ended up in. 3-2 can work well enough to that end. I think he should give up the 24, but I do remember his style early in this week is to sit on that for a longer time if he doesn't have to hurt his board too much. So we could see some sort of board destruction here just to make sure that he stays on the anchor. Oh, he's going to give up the earlier one. And once, yeah, he really likes to keep that 24. Doesn't worry about playing the ace-5 game at all. Seems to feel fine about how that one progresses, though we know that that one's very weak relatively, and having the higher anchors tends to just do more work saving games and gammons. Not a lot to do with this other than hit behind it, unstack. And we'll see what Nodar finds from the bar. He finds a hit and gets to hop out with it too. Beautiful shot. And Felix with plenty of chances still of just entering on the 4, hopping out, getting back into that racing lead. But Nodar with the initiative again. Ace-6, not a lot to do but play from the back. Maybe he could split 24 to 23 there too, actually. Yeah, that looks kind of good. Oh, the 2-1 to come in. Interesting. 4-4, beautiful shot for Felix. Does it just come all the way around? Doesn't get the safety completely, so we got to leave a shot somewhere. So maybe we should just make a board point somewhere, like the deuce. Or we could shift them all to the 4 or something like this. Maybe this reduces some shots a little bit. Yeah, okay. It's something. It's only a direct 1 instead of the indirects on 5s too. Ace is going to hit. And the deuce, I think, like the 24 just feels like it needs to go here. And he's going to find it this time. Okay, I thought for sure he would stay on it from just having seen his style through the weekend. 3-5 fans. And what does 6-1 do, though? He sees the pressure of it. Continues on to the 15, I do believe. Less 4-4s than 4-5s, though they might hurt a little bit worse. 1-5 is going to enter, and what is the 5 going to do? I don't think we have a call for any tempo hits or anything like that. That checker is, we like it, back stuck on that ace point, I think, right now. And our opponent's not doing too much with their roll. So I think I'd like to just play quiet 7 to deuce here. Nice find. 3-2. Doesn't do everything. Getting on the 13 seems very nice for contact, but he's going to go the other way. Playing okay. Either way, most 6s that hop out we're covering. 4-1. I think we're going to stack some more checkers up. Still don't think the tempo is really called for, but we've switched now with an extra checker to attack. It's more worth it, and our play B of this 6-2 is enough worse that we should go for the hit on the ace. That's tricky, though. Just thematically in the position, we're outboarded. We don't want to lose a gammon, all these things. It feels pretty natural to find a quiet play like this. Oh, thanks, Pete. Sure. Mel can have a shout out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments or compliments. Glad you enjoy the commentary. 5-2. Looks like it can clear the 11 hitting. It's going to leave some shots from the bar. But, I mean, whatever other safe option here is there is just it's going to look too ugly. I don't think we have another play B here. Yeah. There we go. 2 forward, and let's see what Nodar's got from the bar. The 3-4 can hit. Beautiful entry. And Felix with 2 stuck back now. Threatening a gammon again. 5-2 is going to fan. And what does the 6-4 do? Yeah, I guess it gets checkers moving from the back. I'd love to bring something into the action, but maybe he's right to just focus on, like, I have a leading race too now, and I just got to make sure to win this game and not get stuck. Four 3, I think, can just come off the 16 and cover the outfield beautifully. I don't think we need to be in such a hurry to attack because our opponent doesn't like have a ton of time to sit back on the anchors anyway. I don't know. I like this play. 4-5, so it enters and doesn't want to hop out. Probably going to play a checker in somehow. Probably prefers not to have a blot in the mix too, so maybe the 5th checker on the deuce is a little bit better than playing to the ace. Hopping out is quite an option though too. Okay. Just don't want to do anything with that front position where it is. And aces looks like it can switch and hit loose. And what else? Something wants to get into range. 12 to 11 sees the 5 very well. This is another one where, okay, he's going to step 10 to 9 instead. Yeah, it's another one where it feels like eventually the 2 to ace switch might bring the checkers into the action a little bit more effectively. Okay, ace hits, and Nodar going fishing for another blot back there on the ace now. Can't find it. 4 in, and then the 2 wants to be in range somehow. 13 to 11. See the 5 point. Okay, I like that play. And 1-6. Gets to anchor up and down enough in the race to maybe... No, he's ahead in the race. So he can't sit on the 24-point game. Going to leave it, but just covers the blot for now. I think that seems good. 4-2 gets to make the priming point in front of it. So I guess Felix is looking for a 4 to run. Oh, that seems for sure. What else is he thinking about? Oh, Felix hadn't hit his yet, so I don't even know if it's... They might need to get a ruling on whether or not that was a roll. Because Felix was still thinking about his ace-6 and whether he should hop out or something. So we'll get a ruling on whether or not, like, what happens here. But 4-2 is a very good roll. So if it turns out that Nodar doesn't get those dice because he rolled before the clock was off his opponent, that'll be very unfortunate for him. Take a quick break to get a ruling on this one, it would seem. Maybe they're going to come over and help them look at the video feed to see if the clock got hit or not. But, I mean, it should be pretty clear that the clock was on Felix's side still, you know? Oh, I guess I don't know. Maybe there's something else they're checking. Because maybe Nodar just instantly made the 7 point and hit the clock and wasn't thinking about it at all. I don't really know. But if they're worried about whether or not the position is valid, this is where I ended up too, unless I missed something along the way. Exciting and close match so far, though. I'm enjoying this one. Thanks, everyone, joining us. Please do subscribe to the channel. You can hop over and subscribe to my channel, too. I've always got content coming out over there. All these will go up on my channel, too, so you can rewatch them later. No tournaments for a little while for me, I think, until the end of April when I'm going to do Cherry Blossom. A lot of cool stuff happening there, I do believe. So, we're all good. Exciting. Glad nothing needs to get corrected there. 4-2 here. What is this going to do? It's going to point on head and buy some time to escape. Yeah, okay, I like that. The 4 coming out seemed... Wow, was he actually supposed to go for it right there, I wonder? Yeah, he could hit loose and try to step up. That's a fun play. That's a big play. But it felt... I was thinking with no timing back here on the 24 point that Felix would want to use a lot of his force to try to run. He'd be excited about that. Wow, this is not good. 6-2 has to break a point behind. There was something better there? I don't know what would have been better. 1-6. 7-1. Ah, okay. It probably keeps more checkers in front, more board points. Fine. But it has to leave a shot, so that's surprising. 6-1. 2-1. It's just cleaning up. And Nodar just trying to contain those back checkers. Sixes will do fine with that. Gets to block the 4-5. And the next double 6, not so good. Oh, sorry. I thought it linked up with the 10. But yeah, I think either way, this is fine. I think we saw that 6's disaster last time I said it too. It's not so disastrous. Hard for Felix to do a lot with it here, but at least he'd get a shot and some destroyed structure. 4-4 does not seem to fill in yet, so might not get to have the 5 point in this game. How can he shuffle this forward in a way that gives him a chance to make it? Maybe he's not really focused on making the 5 point this way. I don't know what to do with that one. That's tough, but yeah, just playing him from the rear can't be too bad. 2-6, no 6, so he's just going to shift forward. 6-3 is going to bring a... he does not have a 6 to play. Yeah. So he's just played a 3. Yep. 5-2 is going to crack a little further. Felix with the speed board, if he can escape. Double 4s would be huge for him, something like that. And Nodar is only going to have a 5 there. Maintains his structure a little longer. And is ready to pounce on the ace if Felix runs with 1. 4-6 is going to do that. Okay. So now Nodar needs to perform. 5-2, beautiful closing roll. And if Felix can just hop in with a 5 and run, he's got some racing chances at least. Not a lot of gammons in this position either. Too hard to close out. Only 8 pips outside. 6-1. 1 step closer to bear off. Felix still looking for the big 5s. 5-4 will do. I think he wants to hop out. I don't think he wants contact here. Even though the race is mostly dead, and he might gain something on a 6-5, well, he only has a 2-point board anyway, and probably loses a lot more to aces that can pick and pass, things like that. So I like that decision to go. 6-2 takes 2 off. Most likely Nodar going to hang on for an 8-away, 9-away lead, but we'll see if Felix can do something with the racing dice here. This is a decent start. Two 1 takes 2 off. And double 5s. Okay, another step in the right direction. Just 2 checkers off. His opponent's already got 4 off, so still needs some misses and things like that. But Nodar does rate to miss quite a bit. This is like basically a dead even race as far as the EPC goes. Some recube effect that'll do too, but I think Felix can reasonably send one if he gets into the lead with a set or a miss from Nodar. 5-1. That is not a relevant miss yet. Down to a 4 roll still. Double 2s is pretty relevant. So that's going to leave a pure 4 roll for Felix. And what does Nodar come up with? He has something that looks like a 4 roll as well. And is it possibly worse? I don't know. But either way, just the 4 roll should be typical double take kind of stuff. But the fact that Nodar, I guess this is a little bit worse for him, so he just lets it go. And this is a pass too. I'm surprised that the EPC actually is 1 pip, almost 2 pips worse than a typical 4 roll. I am not sure why this is so much worse, but maybe if I counted the pips and assigned some wastage, I would get there. But both these players instantly know that cube action. And zoom away to 10 away, 7 away, another turnaround 2 cube win for Felix. It's been the story of this match. 10 away, 7 away. Five 2 splits. And does 3-2 want to do any double hitting here? Usually it's a bit deep and early and at a leading score. Probably not 2, but okay. It's a candidate. A lot of times when we hit 1, we just bring 1 down to like reinforce the attack. Kind of a deep hit there, too. 5-1 gets to cover and make an asset out of that 1-point blot. And what does Nodar have? He gets the anchor up. And the 6, I guess, has to leave a double shot or can just hit for tempo. So, yeah, I prefer the 8 to deuce, I do believe. And 5-4 is just going to anchor past that. And here we are in a dead even race mutual holding game. Simple stuff is the right medicine for Felix with the match lead. Likes to be in just a simple racing game with not many gammons available. 6-4, what can this do? Just play to the 3 behind. Yeah, I mean, he could make the 2-point, but the racing distribution and spares and all these things is more important. They both do care about having a board, since most of the time in a close race like this will end in contact. So they have to keep that in mind and can't play 2 in pure. Okay, but this is likely to gives a big racing lead for Felix. Going to leave his anchor, try to escape. And now he's going to be focused on just safety and bringing this home. And Nodar needs to get his board in shape. Only 8 pips is not enough to send a cube here. 32 should be, though. That's just going to do it. Oh, it's devastating in Nodar's shoes, though. And those, I mean, the sets just roll in and decide a game, and what can you do, right? I'm surprised, actually. I've seen him, like, just resign plenty in these spots, knowing that the cube's coming. Wow, this is still a contact take? What? 27 pips. I did not see that. I guess this does not come home as nicely as it looks like. It's fairly stripped and too many checkers behind. That is a surprise to me. I'm going to have to mark that one down and study it more. But Nodar passes instantly. I would have thought to as well with that giant racing deficit. And on we go to 10 away, 6 away. Sometimes the contact in these holding games can be deceptive. 2 down for containment. I like that play. Ace splits. And 2-1 could anchor up, but then we have to slot somewhere. Maybe that's still fine. What else do we have? It just goes for the bigger split. Okay. 3-1 makes a point. And what does Felix have for follow-up now that he's slightly behind? 6-1 could hit or make a point. Maybe hitting and trying to escape makes more sense. Yeah, I think send the 3rd checker back. There we go. So he has the racing and freedom advantage. And as we're used to, that's Felix's side, the stiff side. And Nodar going to play the strategic mini checker backside. Two 6. I guess this wants to just hop to the outfield to avoid getting another blot involved. And Nodar 3-1 is going to hit back from, okay. From the midpoint split, he's got, or strips, he's got 10 in the zone, 3 back, so blitzing plans look a little bit weak. I think we should buy a tempo and hit loose on the 5 here, even though we're outboarded. And Nodar wants to think about sending a trailing cube here already with the better board, with a ton of shots, so likely to send a 3rd back. There's some good volatility here. I think this is probably fine. Yeah, it's a little bit early. Okay, maybe we need to be at a more sensitive score to send it, but like 4-way, 2-way, this looks good. Should be an easy take for Felix. But yeah, I like to see him leveraging some of that threat to try to get back in the match now. That's a pass. Wow. And so in this almost 50-50 game, he's just going to let it go and try to protect his lead, which maybe we saw a little bit of with Felix too, is just a tendency to protect a little bit too much. So, I mean, that is a perfectly timed cube if you know your opponent might pass it then. Very good stuff from Nodar to get a point back into this 9-away, 6-away. Five two tends to like to hit on the ace to disconnect. And split along with it. Yep, I like that. 5-5. This is going to punish somehow. Probably, I guess it could hit loose on the 3 and make the ace. Would be another way to do it. Or just make the 3 entirely, okay. And an ace-4 from Felix to enter both. Beautiful shot. 5-6 from Nodar. Can't return fire. And now he's just got blots all over the place. So he tries to tuck one away behind with the racing lead. Seems reasonable. 5-1 can cover and hit on the bar. Oh, it hits back on the 20. Yeah, of course. Ace hits back there. Turns the ace into an asset. Even though it's behind the anchor, still better to have that safetied up. And now Nodar, does he want to enter on the 20 and do just shuffle checkers around? Or he could link up 18 to 13 if he enters deep. I don't think he's worried about being attacked behind. Creates more contact down in the race. Neither is so great. Is there ever a reason to make this tempo hit 6-2? I guess for lack of options, I don't mind it at all. Bit of an overplay, though. Okay. And 2-1. Hit back twice now. Okay. So Felix with a strong advantage in this game. With 1,000 checkers back again. I cannot read the Greek, but thank you, whatever you're saying. I'm sure it's fantastic and nice. But at least you have other Greek people in the chat to chat with too. 4-1. I guess we're just hopping out 21 to 17 and cleaning up 7 to 6. What else do we have here? 13 to 8 for more in the zone. Okay. Yeah, I probably would have just. I don't see why we want to leave any shots here when we can just simplify and try to come home. But Felix has this idea. Wants to be able to follow up on checkers back, build something, unstack the 13 point. That's going to be a liability for a long time in this game. 3 comes in, and what can the ace do? I guess he's probably not so afraid of it introducing another blot here, 6 to 5 or something. Or, yeah, 11 to 10. I mean, leaves good sixes. There's some duplication there. Yeah, sure. Everything should work. 3-2 can make a board point. Only 6 checkers in the zone, so the anchor is not very important here. Even though our opponent has one, we're just trying to escape it. And we want the structure to bring this position home. So that's a nice find, I think. 6-5. Doesn't link up with the 10. So the 6 is just going to hit, he says. Okay. Maybe the 20 to 15. I think we need to do something with the back checkers somehow. So, yeah. This is a good combo. Nodar finds the best of it. And 2-1. Gets to hit again. Even though we're risking allowing our opponent to make a double anchor now, I mean, I think this is still worth it. I can't think off the top of my head of a situation where we would not do that, but they come up. I think we might as well hit for tempo and bring 2 down to make the 11, something like this. I don't know. What else do we have here? We can just clean up a blot and not get more involved? Okay. Yeah, I guess spending the last spare on the 6 isn't helping enough, so he's just going to connect blots, get things ready for later. Yeah, nice find from Nodar. Avoids that overplay. And 5-3. I think we can just escape. As soon as we have the 21, we just want to give it up. So I'm just going to link up with the midpoint. I guess the reason they're close is because we could play 13 to 8 and improve our distribution out there too. We don't like to have the 5 stack. 6-2. Probably wants to keep the 23 and 22 point checkers where they are, hoping to make that 22. So maybe just 20-14 and 13 to 11 and still focusing on containment here. Be my thought. He can go for the slot though too. Okay. Yeah, I want to keep this one back, but they seem all very close. Moving something from the back makes a lot of sense too. All right, just going to go all the way. And this checker on the 14 does good containment work against a single checker back. 3-5 can step up to the 21 and improve our distribution 13 to 8. Love that play. And 6-1 gets to make the 5 point. Pretty big improvement there. Nodar's board is getting ready, but still a lot of work to do to bring material into the action. 6-1 can send another checker back, or it can make a blocking point. Yeah, maybe the 7 for the ride home seems like it'll be pretty valuable here. Even though it's not part of like priming structure with the ace, I think it's just going to help us against those 4 checkers back quite a bit. They're very close ideas though. This wins more. He could win more gammons going with the hit. Doesn't seem like a score where you want to be chasing gammons necessarily, so I don't know. I probably would have ended up with Felix's play too. Nodar gets to make a blocking point to try to limit Felix's mobility here and escaping potential. Doesn't succeed though. The 4s is going to go just fine and make the 9 point. Huge shot. And this might be a cube for Felix coming up here. Even at the leading score, it looks very strong. 60 pips is a ton to deal with. Yep, he's just going to get it in right away. Some extra gammons with the extra checkers back. Nodar probably has a contact take here. It feels like with the midpoint and everything, but it's a lot to make up. Oh man, I'm just way off on these holding cubes. So I guess the extra threats of attacking on the 23, he just never wins this either. Wow, I'm surprised it's so low with 22. I guess Felix has so much opportunity to clear the mid safely with 3 landing points too as part of it. And yeah, when he just turns it into an attack behind, then he can just win extra that way too. I don't know, though. I mean, the contact on here with the midpoint and everything like that and the goalkeeper, I can easily see Nodar getting tricked into trying to play this one and turn it around. Seems to be spending time on it and not feeling sure at all. The gammons don't pop out at me in this one. It's 23%. But when you're down 60 pips in the race, when you have the 3rd checker back, both these things are big signals that there are more gammons than there appear in these holding games. That's for sure. And so really, Felix is actually closer to too good. Very interesting. Nodar going to let it go wisely. Well found there. 9 away, 5 away. Definitely big score adjustments at this one. Oh, 1-3 that is. Okay. Starts with a nice point, and Nodar with a huge follow up in the double 6s. So at normal scores, we don't have a cube until we have a better board or something like that. Our opponent just wants to make an anchor. But that could be a little bit different here. I think advancing to the 22 is going to be enough to keep it off in all senses. But nice recovery from Felix. Just enough to stay in this one, but a clear lead for Nodar. And 5-3, maybe not so afraid to make another board point, but I guess we like the 8.2. Okay, yeah, that's fine. What is this, double 4s? Okay, this game could get decided quickly. Huge racing lead, most really free. Still has a lot of points to make in front of that 22-point anchor. So maybe Felix has a pretty comfortable contact take, I guess, actually. But the racing lead enough and threatening to make one of those. And we're right on the borderline of the take pass. Yeah, this feels more like a take to me. But we've seen Felix try to protect his match lead here, so I'm kind of expecting a pass out of him. Thinking this just hasn't started the way he wants and doesn't want to let his opponent back in the match so easily. But that's not always how the actual match equity math works out. And, you know, it might be his freest ride to 3 away, you know, just getting to play a simple game here where there's not really any gammons at stake. So these feel like attractive to me to take personally over the board. We'll see what Felix comes up with here. It looks a little stiff and like there should be more contact value than this 23%, 24% to win as well. His board's very nice. Felix's. And Nodar might make the 5 or the 4 on the next roll, but if he doesn't, then he might have a really hard time doing it, you know? It might be that his distribution ends up very poor. And stacky. The 5 checkers on the 6 just don't look like they're going to deploy so easily. But okay. Felix finds that pass. We're going to move on to a new game. And, oh, are we? No, we're going to have a smoke break. Okay, 8 away, 5 away. So probably our last little break of the match here. But yeah, it's been back and forth. Been a really interesting one to watch here. I'm going to bring up that match progression again. Man, it's been a roller coaster. Most of these have been kind of like one-sided all weekend. But this particular match has been all kinds of back and forth. The kind of competitive like situations that you would hope for in a finals for sure. Let's hop over there and look at it together. Let's get that match progression up. So I guess early on, Nodar took a small lead, and then he's been mostly behind for the rest of the match. But jumping into moments in Game 8, he had chances to become the favorite. Remember, he was going to win a gammon to go ahead, but couldn't close that out. And so, when Felix saved the gammon, then he stayed small favorite there. And then Felix has been picking up points mostly on the way back here. But it looks like we've landed out at basically a 2-1 favorite for Felix going into this next game. At this 8-away, 5-away scoreline. I can go look up the exact max check equity on that too. What does it say in our table? It says 32%, 32.2. So 68 on the other side. So yeah, I mean, going to take some luck for Nodar to get back into this one for sure. But I mean, we've seen crazier things happen in backgammon, and all the preposterous comebacks happen, feels like every time, right? So big swings in this match, lots of excitement, lots up for grabs here. This €32,000 prize pool. But I'm going to send you to a short break. We'll be back with more backgammon soon. right, players making their way back to the board. Looks like we're going to get back into this just a moment. Things are mostly set up there already. As I mentioned, we've got Nodar Gagua with 8 away, trailing Felix Ziva 5 points away from winning here in this 17-point match grand finals. And, I guess like technically going through XG and bot stuff, we see some big adjustments. We have started to see Nodar get in some earlier cubes. But I know it feels like in general when he gets into a gammonish position that he likes to play it out and try to win a little bit more there. And I think we've seen Felix maybe over-adjust to protecting his lead in some ways here too. So we'll see if we keep seeing these tendencies show up as the match continues. 2-1 is often happy to switch for the 5-point here. I would probably still do it even though it's a double shot. But we can play quieter as well. 4-1 gets to make the 5. And 6-5 gets to make a beautiful anchor. Okay. So once again, Felix in a nice, simple holding game. And Nodar's typically been the one with a bunch of checkers back, weird things going on in pure boards and trying to scrap gammonish positions home. And the 6 is just going to push him straight into that this time. Double 3s is going to improve somehow. Should it? I mean, it can go for board points. Is there any sense in... Oh, yeah, he's not ahead in the race to just break contact from the 18, but I was thinking about that, at least. 2-6. This with a close race, so we either put a spare on the 5 or we run all the way. We don't have a 6 that we're allowed to play after we step up, I guess. So we could play 23-17 and find some too. But okay, yeah, doesn't want to risk as much race against this 3-point board and just plays quietly. I think that makes a lot of sense. Aces could... Is this double switch so good here? Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Like, it feels like it's not the right game plan when our opponent's primed behind that 7-point. We kind of make that less useful. But Nodar only going to enter with 1, and now he's got some attacking potential, and he's going to send the cube even at a leading score here. Interesting. I think we can adjust to waiting a bit, and Nodar going to have a comfortable time taking this. But if this works out, that can send Felix to a Crawford game here with a huge match lead. So let's see how this plays out. And, of course, if Nodar gets back in this game at all, he's going to be sending really aggressive recubes to cancel the value of Felix's gammons. He's going to make his gammons get him to a full match win. So this could be a very important game in the match here. Could be a decider. 5-4 must just cover. I guess he wants to think about pointing on the 2 to prevent the anchor as well. But I think the board point not leaving shots against a pretty strong board himself is just worth a little bit too much. Exciting game that we came straight back to here. Yeah, look at this. So this is in blitz theory. I mean, we do want to give up the 7 here. It's not working as well for us. And we do want to prevent our opponent from making the anchor. And sometimes deeper points are more valuable because they're harder to get to. But again, I think just like there's the simple backgammon value of just having another board point and how difficult it'll be for our opponent to play from this 23 makes it fine to just cover the pure point. Okay, so that's going to save a lot of gammons in this position. What does Felix find with the 6-5? Ouch. Okay, has to run off the 18. I guess it's not the worst one to do it with. And let's see if Nodar can find some counterplay now. Cannot hit, so he's going to make the best board point. Well, he should actually just play the spare on the ace instead. That's how bad it is to have dilly builders back there. We got to think about those things. 3s cannot get to safety, so I think we're just going to clear the 13, 18 to 15, and then 7 to 4 with it probably. Just bring a checker in, something like this. Nice again. Thanks for watching the stream and all the compliments, everybody. Appreciate having you here with me. You guys like seeing those match progressions? I feel like it adds something to the match, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of all the new stuff I'm doing. I'm always trying stuff, trying to figure out how we can make streams more fun, engage more people. And 5-4 gets to bring a checker to safety if it wants to, Maybe it's better distribution just to play them both in from the 10 and try to make the 3-point, though. Yeah, I like this. Looks like a nice opportunity. 6-3. 6 is in. I think 3 is in, too. Maybe he wants to save a 6 to not have to run off the anchor, but we can't make any points or anything like that, and it just, I don't know, it looks destructive to find some other 3s, so I think I like that play. 6-3 is going to make its way to safety. And still hasn't been able to fill in the 3 points, so Nodar with a little extra contact value there, looking for some small numbers to close out his board before that comes. 3-2. Right kind of number, but can't close the ace quite yet. Four, 1. I don't think it's going to be worth volunteering here, so we're just going to play quietly to the ace. And 4-3 is going to be the first bit of cracking for Nodar, making the turnarounds on hits much more difficult and making it a much safer position for Felix. And the 5-3, though, still can't come in safely, so we're going to bury 2 more checkers to the ace, which is going to be a big problem for him. Contact still favoring Nodar after a roll like that with so many dead checkers. 6-4 is going to run with 1. Happy to play a single checker contact. No need for an anchor. Can't really get closed out here anyway. Aces. Yeah, I think he's probably going to switch here just to reduce the contact zone. Oh, he should just come in and take 2 off. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, this is just still like going to leave a lot of shots on the way. Gets a fan out of it, though, and 6-4 is going to play the 6 in and the 4 to the deuce, and yeah, we can see how awkward this is. Ace-6 fans again. Only 7 pips outside for Nodar, too. So, I mean, it's like well under 10% gammons here, I think. This 5-2 just coming off. Yeah, like 1.9. So even though he's fanning and like being taken off, he can never find a closeout. So it's just very unlikely that he's going to lose more than a game. But the contact's still pretty good. 4-5 gets center and stay for a roll, and the shot should be coming now. Now or the next roll, and I think Nodar will be able to wait for it. 6-4, no such luck yet. And now it looks like just 5-1, 6-1, 4-1, 3-1 next time. 6-4, I think, I mean, yeah, you have to crunch your board more, but I feel like you have to stay for it. You're saving the gammon every time anyway. It's not that likely, but it's something. And when you run, it's nothing. Tough decisions, though, and not a lot at stake. So, I mean, you can't really make a big mistake either way. And correctly stays, and let's see if we can get one of those 8 numbers. Looking for an ace up. 3-2 is not it. That's going to clear safely. And so Felix most likely moving on to 8-away, 3-away. Really in 1 game reach for the match now. And Nodar with some work to do to turn it around. 6-4, okay. Got the wrong roll there. What can you do? And 3-1, okay. Is this decided yet? I guess Nodar could do it with 3 sets. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. He's counting that out and figuring it out now. And he is ready to give up. And it's official then. 8-away, 3-away. Should be very difficult to find a cube at this score for Felix. Should be coming in early from Nodar. But Felix has been showing us he's willing to do this with a match lead too. So let's see what he comes up with. 3-1 going to make the 5-point beautiful start for Nodar. Felix hoping to link up with that. Split 6, can't do it. So he's going to make the 5-point here. I do believe. Oh, he can come around. Okay, and make the 9. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That also seems like a fine game plan. 5-1 simplifies that leading score. And Nodar wants to take the tempo away. Yeah, with this all these builders in the outfield, I think that's wise. 1-6 would have been making the 5-point. It'll just hop out to the bar now, I think. But it could go for the second hit on the deuce. And Felix chooses the simple game. Once again, 2-5 can anchor deep and bring a checker down 13-8. Or it can come out to the bar to distract. Yeah, okay, that'll be a nice anchor to have if our opponent makes the 5 or 4 point, something like this. And we might get a lot of shots in the outfield there too. So I like that play. 3-2, I think, is going to make the bar point. On head, no less. Oh, wow, it can just consolidate blots and make the 11. I didn't even think of doing this. Feels strange to give away our midpoint when we're still need to escape that checker on the 18, but I guess it's very nice structure. It never looks to develop that nicely to me, too. Like, we're just going to give one of those points up to make the 5-point as soon as possible anyway. I guess tactically it really freezes all these checkers back here for a little while. Very interesting. Not an easy find for me. 3-2. I still don't know what this wants to do. I still feel like I just want to make the bar point. I don't know. It's less blots now. We have to step into a double shot to come all the way to the midpoint. I don't want to make this stack of 6. Wow. I would really struggle to play this stiff here. Maybe I could give up the 11 or something like that, but how are we supposed to develop this position? I guess we're ahead 31. And Nodar wants to think about cubing just on the stronger board. Wow. I think he's got to be a sizable underdog. So, okay, he's going to have to get some luck with the dice here to turn this one around. But there are some gammons when this goes well. So I can see the idea. 6 in and 1 behind, sure. Having that anchor right in the center of all that structure seems nice. But actually, he should not give up the contact here and just wins more by staying back. Okay, very interesting. 2-1. I guess this is just giving up a point now, yeah. What can we do? The 10's a little better somehow? Okay. 6-3 finally hits the checker in the outfield. And what's 6 with it? No strong preference here. I guess we can just play in 10-4 instead of leaving like 5 blots all over the place. I like that. What is he? Should play 18-12 with it? Why? Wow, okay. Got to find some loose plays in this position with so much stronger of a board. That's tough stuff. I think I enter deep here. Hope my opponent does not make the bar point. But I don't want to step up somewhere where he can point on me. And then I can just shift 10-8. Why not? But yeah, with so much better of a board, I don't want to provoke contact by stepping up on a higher point. And that's the play Felix is going to go with after all, too. See what the follow-up is. 5-1 gets to make a board point. And Felix looking to run with a 6. I guess. Not a lot of safe places to go. 6-3 is pretty nice, though. Runs to a single shot. Yeah. He'll take that. And sitting on a 2 cube, if he can just get into a simple racing game, I mean, this is like the dream for Felix. If he gets hit, though, then there are a lot of gammons at stake. So here, yeah, I think we're just going to slot the front. Going to be very difficult for Felix to recube Nodar out of this game. So we're probably going to see it all the way to the end. We can just play behind with this. Beautiful 6 to ace afterward. And clean up. And well on our way with our plan. Winning a simple 2 points. Making a board point is a huge step in the right direction. I mean, I guess there are occasions where the 4-1 could like hit and cover the ace. Maybe it reduces contact sometimes too. But I mean, the 5 point, of course, should be our instinctual option. Yeah, look at that. A little bit better to just try to get him to enter on the 5 or something like that. Some blitzing values, some gammons that can happen too, I guess, which would win the match. They're not worth that much since Crawford is already so close. But yeah, maybe this 5s was going to play better if we had covered already. Kind of doubt it. This can just make the 4 point, I think, in the ace point. Looks pretty nice. Looking like a quite decisive game for Felix as well, all the way into the 80s with wins already. And not a lot of value to the contact of that bar point anchor anymore. And under some pressure, Nodar, is going to be a little bit afraid to be back on that 23 there too. And so Felix wants to pause and think about sending this now. Okay, there are definitely enough wins to play this out. I think we're well under 10% take point here, probably around like 7 or 8 or something like that. So he's got to basically have the game won in hand, with no contact left to send it. And meanwhile, he's also canceling the value of his gammons if he sends this cube, which could still happen. So just much better to keep rolling through this. We want to take a look at this. And yeah, if Nodar knows this, he can technically take all the way down to just under 7%. So a lot of room to get there. Felix going to make a point on head. And yeah, really the biggest disaster for Felix would be if he gets into a gammonish position like this and then chooses to cash instead. 3-6, I think, just has to hop out. So he gives up on all wins, which now, oh wow, it should stay back for contact because he has to pass after this. Oh, what a cool score play. That's a tough one to find. I did think of that, is that like maybe Felix can claim after he hops out here because the contact's so low and it's 30 pips in the race. Our opponent has under 5%. Yeah, this is just like completely dead. So that doesn't mean that we should just like go all in and stay back for contact and maybe get gammon, but there's not that many gammons when we move 18 to 12 either. So he's going to get a little bit closer, play it safe at the score, which seems reasonable. And I wonder, I don't know for sure what Nodar is doing if he sends the cube there. He might still take. Here it comes now. And Nodar knows that he just has no hope here and lets it go. And we're going to go on to 8-away, 1-away Crawford. So at even away Crawford games, the gammon is going to get us one closer to winning, one game closer to winning the match. We're thinking of all games being worth basically 2 points after the Crawford game since we're always going to have an automatic double. So what that means is that gammons are worth something for Nodar and he'll play for them. And of course they're not worth anything for Felix, just needs 1 point to win the match. Match equity from this score is not good. 8-away, 1-away is 6.75% as we said already. But a good start making the 5 point. 2-1. Just goes all offense. I think splitting to try to cover the outfield after escaping makes a lot of sense too. That's the play though? Okay. Unstacks and makes the 11. Beautiful shot for Felix. Ready to come home naturally now, but 6s is going to be a huge improvement for Nodar as well. And so in these, like, even though we want to win a gammon, it's not like, I mean, this is just such a strong winning game plan that we need to go for this. It doesn't mean we should do something like attack on the ace. It does win a few more gammons, but like dramatically less wins. So common theme here too. 6-2. Does it? Yeah, I guess if it can escape, he's doing well in the race. So maybe he does need to step up and see the light. I don't know about coming out. Wow, that's the best he can do. Okay, nice find. I would have struggled to pick a play like that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Gets to make the 9 point, and I don't see any reason to any better deuce than coming down after that. And Nodar in the driver's seat in this game, even threatening some gammons. I've got almost 100 of you with me. Thanks for joining the finals of this tournament. It's been a really exciting one. I guess just stepping up to the edge. I don't even know. Maybe we just don't provoke and try to bring checkers around to try to save the gammon now. Because, like, if we escape, we're still just in a pretty big-time losing race. I'm not sure how much more we're winning by coming up to the edge. He wants to put pressure on all these points that want to deploy themselves to make the next point the 4 point, though. So if he steps up here, then yeah, okay. Then that's going to allow for like numbers that make the 4 to maybe leave a shot as well. 6-5 is going to point on head. And the gammon threat increasing. 3-1. This time it's going to enter deep in cover, I do believe. As his 3-point board in order, the contact getting a little more valuable, so he can afford to hit fly shots and things like that. 3-1 is just going to link up on the 8, it looks like. I can't see too much sense in making the 4-point and volunteering a direct on the 7. And what does Felix have? He still has some decent wins in contact with that 18 points if he can not get closed out here. 6-4 is just going to start the next point and board and move a lot of pips that could be losing gammons otherwise too, so that's pretty nice. 2-6. Not what he had in mind. Doesn't really do anything good. Maybe it could be time to, like, I don't think we want to give up our structure, so okay, he can do this. I was thinking that maybe he should run off his anchor or something, but oh, he can go for the attack instead of slotting. Okay. Something from here, though, that doesn't give up his anchor and let his opponent to come into the offensive game plan. I guess that makes a lot of sense. 4-2. This is not good. Maybe it gives up the 8. Sure. We're not in the racing lead, so we don't need that to bring ourselves home. What is this going to do? The 4 is going to cover and the 5 in from the back to keep our opponent primed. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Not coming home how Nodar envisioned it, though. Double 6s is just 12 more pips home. So the gammon tax going down every time here, especially as Nodar's position gets less and less pure. 5-2 does not have room to do anything other than hit on the ace and unprime our opponent or try to run off the anchor. Oh, he can do both. Yeah. Best to do both. Oh, his opponent made the play already? Yeah. Felix thought he was thinking about it. Okay. Misses the opportunity to try to escape there and wants to keep that defense for now. And, like, sort of kills a checker by doing it, too. But maybe this will turn into the gammons he's looking for. 4-3 cannot cover, so it's just going to come around the bend. And a lot of numbers that'll get Felix back in the game here. I guess just any one in a 4-6. Not so many. And still counterplay after that, too. Double 3s can... Yeah, it should make the pure point instead of covering, right? I think so. Then just bring things closer to home. I would have thought 18-15, but I guess there's some duplication of the ace-6 is the idea. Or maybe it just creates more contact on like entering ace-5 or something like this. I don't really know. Ace-5, ace-4. Got to do funnier things. And he's really not sure about the 4 covering the ace. And they're not too far off. But I can see that if, you know, I mean, getting hit on the ace is not the end of the world here by any means. Where just entering on the 4 could create a lot of contact and would be very difficult to close later if we don't go for it now. Double 2s gets the cover. Beautiful shot for Nodar. And I think he can play in without leaving double 6s, but just chooses to keep things in the outfield instead. All right. And I think he needs to bear off somewhat aggressively to win this gammon with only 21 pips outside. No real choice there for doing so. But Felix should be the favorite to save this unless Nodar can get some fans out of him here for a while and take a lot of checkers off. 6-2. Okay, that's progressing along the more wins and less gammons path. 4-2 is going to fan, though. And at least 6 shot levers here. 3-1 is not one of them. Going to take 2 checkers off, I think, if he wants to win the gammon. Yeah, that's going to jump him up to 61.3% to do it that way. So we can see, as usual, like when the gammon race is close in that 50-50 range, going for it aggressively gains quite a bit, like 5% in gammons, and the wins are 98 or 99, basically locked up either way. So not trading too much at all. 6-1 could have been taking a checker off without losing the point too. So 4-1's going to enter now and get a crossover. And let's see if Felix can save it or if Nodar can still squeak out this gammon. 5-6 should save a lot of gammon pips. Probably from the back, but I don't know. I never have any strong preference with these. Don't really understand what crosses over most effectively. 7 crossovers to go for Felix, and 9 to go for Nodar. A lot of bigger crossovers for Felix, potentially. Gets 2 there, and 4s are better to take another crossover, so he can miss one here pretty easily. And Nodar still has the 2 set path to get an extra 2 points here. 6-5, that's 2 big crossovers. Yeah, I think we play the 6 to the 10 and then 11 in. Yeah, it's just wasting pips otherwise. So why would we do anything else? Must feel weird to make a point, of course, looking for diversification to get in. But it does diversify still. 6s, 5s, and 4s all get in. Checking that there's not some way to get more sets. Double 3s, actually. That's going to save the gammon, he says, though. Okay. So resigns a single game. And on we go to 7 away, 1 away. Post Crawford. I forget what the match equity is in all these post-Crawford situations. 7 away, 1 away post-Crawford is up to 11.5%. Okay. 3-1 to open for Nodar. Let's see if he messes around with the cube trick or if he just sends it immediately. If I remember, I think he just sends it immediately. Can't remember if we saw that situation or not, though. No, he's going to test out the trick and see if he can get into a position where Felix is confused about the automatic redouble cube action. Felix can always take and do just fine in this situation. There are rare occasions that can come up where it would be technically better to pass if his opponent waits long enough. But, yeah, I mean, an easy simplification is just to assume, well, my opponent never gains on me as long as I always take. So no one can gain any equity as long as Felix doesn't pass. 4-1 is going to hit, and then probably 23 to 22. Challenge that blot there. Oh, he wants to spread out for maximum offense, though. Okay. There are some rules of thumbs for how to know when we do get to passable position. This is an interesting one. I mean, it still would just snap this up. But wow, look at this. He's going to get the take out of him. And Felix doesn't think that he has as many wins as his opponent has gammons. And the trick works. So, yeah, this is the risk of thinking that maybe your opponent can lose their market far enough. If we just take, we never run into this equity loss here. But that's going to take Nodar to a free drop score as well. Yeah, they're big when you pass early. It tends to be small when you take. 6-2 is going to split, and so Nodar needs to cube at his first opportunity because if he's a favorite, his opponent should just pass. And his opponent, he will be a favorite after this sequence. So just a split and a pass, I think. I think it doesn't matter too much. 2 up is fine, too. Okay. And we'll see if Nodar knows this one. Yep, he knows his post-Crawford cube action. And what does Felix want to do with this? Must feel like he's going to take this one, though. Okay. Doesn't feel like he's a big enough underdog, or maybe he's got his score even odd backwards somehow. That could be, I don't know. Six, 5. I think he can just hide a blot behind the anchor, play down to the 8. Or it can just run all the way. Interesting, okay. Yeah, not too bad of an option there. Simplifies. has a chance of escaping to a simple race. 5-4 wants to hit and escape the anchor. Okay. Send a second checker back. Big advantage for Nodar in this game now. But still needs to make a lot of structure to bring this home. Threatening some gammons too. 1-6 is not going to anchor up. 13-7 behind it. Let's see what Nodar follows up with. 4-2 is going to point on head. Okay. Things are getting a little bit scary in this game for Felix. Double threes is going to improve the position at least and give it quite a bit of teeth when his opponent wants to attack and continue for gammons. I think 13-10 just brings something into the zone, sure. Slotting the 4 must be fine too. But double sixes can attack safely if it wants to. What does it do? No, it can't attack safely. What am I talking about? Maybe it should just make the ace point. Yeah, that's the best we can do just because we have to leave blots in the outfield either way. I like that. At least no returns in board. Gets a fan out of it too. Wow, okay. And we could get to a dead even match after this very easily. Yes, after the double fives follow up too. Nodar must be a big favorite to gammon now. And that would take him to 2-away, 1-away, which was, other than the free drop, is basically a double match point. Hey, Tapio. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you. 5-4 is going to hit loose to keep trying to keep him from anchoring up, working on that blitz. And why not just bring another checker into the zone after that? 9-4 is just a little front-loaded, and if we cover with anything else, then that checker's dead, so I don't think we want to do anything like that. Wow, why 9-4? That's weird. I don't understand that play. Twos aren't doing anything else anywhere else? I don't know. Okay. 5-4 enters high. Nodar is still looking to blast away, close out. Looks like the favorite to do it. The 2 could have been covering. That's what Extreme Gammon says, right? So the ace is going to hit. For sure. And then the 2, I mean, it can lift. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we're close enough to the end there. Maybe it buys him a little more time to hit with tempo, and we don't need to make the 5 point. 4-1. Maybe it hurts more to be hit than it does to get to cover it afterward. 4-3 can cover the deuce. Yeah, it could make the 5 point, but I think more important. Oh, he's going to go for the structure now after living. Wow, and that's correct. Okay, he might have such a hard time coming through. That's very interesting. Maybe if he gets hit, he can go back and pick up more checkers anyway. Yeah, I guess the structure is pretty strong there. Okay, I was just thinking that he would just want to go for safety now the way that he had played it with the lift. All right, 5-3. Perfect bear-off distribution. Cruising to a gammon. And heading for that DMP game. What a close matchup. Big swings in this, too. All on technically a free drop. And he's going to play maximum safety there. Yeah, I think as long as he doesn't leave a shot, he's going to win a gammon. So that seems wise. This feels like it's getting a little over stiff maybe, but okay. Evens out for quite a while. It risks like the double-decker in a way, so I'm not sure. But okay. Looking pretty safe so far. 6-4 is going to enter 1. Maybe Felix can enter in quickly and save a gammon that way. There's not so much material outside. 4-1, I think he's just sticking with the safe and clearing from the rear. Yeah, what are the gammons here if Felix enters with a 6 or something? 4-2, no such luck. And 5-5, okay. That's going to make a lot of progress towards winning a gammon and getting that DMP, basically Crawford game. Or not Crawford game. Yeah, not Crawford game. DMP game. 4-3 is going to enter. Is he just going to resign the gammon? He's not going to try? Oh, it is 100% gammon? Wow, okay. It didn't seem locked up to me, but okay. Correctly resigns the gammon and no backgammon. Oh, yeah, backgammon wins the match there. I didn't even think about that. Maybe he could have been playing for that. That would have been funny. But, okay. 2-away, 1-away. So we've got one final free drop available for Felix here. And we'll see if he takes advantage of it or not. And either way, we're likely going to be playing one final game in this 17-point match to where gammons don't count to decide who is going to be the champion of the first Loutraki Grand Prix this year. And 2-5 is a pass. Let's see what he does, though. You didn't let the last one go. And Nodar's going to roll through it and play on like too good, I guess, is the idea. Seems to be a fine idea. Okay, interesting. I have heard of this famed two-away, one-away, too good idea. But it seems like we'd just rather not, I don't know, regain our market or something. Was it technically? Yeah, it is technically too good. That's fun. Break even once we plus it. Okay, maybe not. But now he sends the cube. We both have our 5 points. Still ahead in the race. Won the opening roll. We should feel like this is a pass. But it's confusing Felix after having gotten to play an extra roll there. He has more pips. His distribution's slightly better for Nodar, but there's an extra checker unstacked. Felix not sure what to do with it. And not a whole lot of equity at stake, but the real decision here is, does he want to play this game at 47%, or does he want to play the next one at 50-50, not having started the game yet? Chooses correctly, and we're going to play true DMP for the title now. It all comes down to this 1 point. Ooh, we're over 100. Awesome. Thanks for joining in for the conclusion of this match, everybody. 2-3 to open, so Felix does get a small advantage to start, I think. I guess I'm actually not clear that he's a favorite after 3-2 opening. Yeah, 50.1%. Fun. 5 down and 2 hits. Okay. Good response from Nodar. 3-6. Can't hit the blot. Can't anchor up. Just going to hop out and try to race. Double aces. Gets to make the bar in the 4. I think if we had another spare, we'd consider making the 5 and leaving the 4 slotted. But when we don't have anything to cover with, I think it's better to just make the point and not lose a checker in the zone, all that fun stuff. It's fairly close, though. Goes for the purity. Okay. 1-1. That's a decision. It can make a 3' of his own with blots all over the place, or it can just send this checker back. I guess going for the race makes a lot of sense since we're never stronger. I don't know. Wow, but he really needs to find some way to make the 5 point with it. Okay. That's a tricky play. I'd have to look at that one for a while. Ace-6 is just going to take the legal checker off the 24, hop out to the bar, and everything hits back except for that. Well, the ace hits if it wants to, but then it has to create another blot with the 4, so maybe it's better to just tidy up and make the 9 point or something like this. All right, 4-5 is a beautiful shot for Nodar. Gets to hit both checkers, put them all up on the roof. And Felix needs to perform from the bar here. Enters both at least, but really needed to hit. And I guess only 9 in the zone, there's still work for Nodar to do, but that's a huge improvement to his position. Structurally just looking to be big favorite here. Can't do anything about the blot this roll, though. So probably just going to come around to the 11 and contain. I don't see any reason to be loose on the 24 here while we're just trying to close our opponent out. Once they anchor at the edge of our structure, we can start moving, but I also don't like being loose on both sides, like slotted and split at the same time. I think Presser calls that the splot. And it's rarely right. Comes up sometimes. It's an exception when that plays a good one, though. Ryan was talking a lot about a Frank Talbot exception of slotting both 5 points. That comes up often in the opening. And I guess it doesn't tend to be right, but it tends to be a candidate. 4-6 cannot hit. Okay, what is this going to do? The 6 could pop out and bring the focus elsewhere. It could make the deuce point, which is a very impure point when we're being primed. I don't know what to do here. Not a good position to be in regardless for Felix. And 7s and 9s are going to cover. There's a 7. And now he's stuck behind a 5 prime. So Nodar dominating this game. Must be a sizable favorite. 6-6 gets to escape one, though. I think it wants to do that. So it could go to the 10 and then make the bar point and prime. But, I mean, we don't really have any priming game plan. So how about we just play 9-3 and don't leave any directs? That would be my idea after coming around to the 10. Setso Svetkov says, doubling cube destroys the game. Interesting. Okay. I think it makes it infinitely more interesting. But it does end games sooner sometimes. But lucky you then getting to see a DMP game here. Doubling cube won't be destroying this one. And what does Nodar have? 4-1. I guess his opponent has this idea of blitzing to try to find time to escape if he splits, so probably just playing 13-8, but it would be nice to leave the checker on the 9 as well. It's too bad that we don't have any other ace. And what does Felix have? A 2 to step up would be beautiful. Oh, aces is huge. Up to the edge of the prime and makes the 5 point. I guess he could make a prime of his own too, but I think it feels more important to escape. I'd be stepping up here. Wow, they're close though. Okay, he's in a perfectly 50-50 game after he makes the priming point. Wow, his opponent, I guess he just has so much better timing? No, he doesn't have better. Yeah, with the checker escapes maybe. I don't know. This is a tough one to pick. I really don't understand how you know which is better here. Ends up going with the priming play. He knows. So good find by him. And what are aces going to do? Not a whole lot. All they can do is shift the blot forward. And Felix in pretty good shape with this game now. 5-2. I still think he wants to be up at the edge. And then what can the 5 do? Maybe down just to try to build. Yeah, I like this play. Nothing to be afraid of. We can go all in. 10-5 to lift a blot to avoid buying time is fine too, I guess. Oh, he could just make the 8 point he's looking at. The 8 point isn't really part of our structure, though. It only blocks 3-4, really. So, I mean, I just don't think it's worth enough here. Yeah, a little bit better to safety up the blot. That's interesting, just for the tactical melee coming up, since we're going to be hit off the edge so often. Hey, Paul, thank you. Wow, but he's going to go with the 8 point after all. Okay. Just doesn't want to be attacked on the edge. But misses out on the upside of a 6 entirely when he gets away with it. 3-2, I think maybe Nodar just has to be splitting here. Not really room for anything else, is there? I guess his opponent's still ahead in the race. I'm confused about this one. So if we play there, do we really have worse timing? We can always roll through and just buy time to do this later. So maybe we don't need to provoke it and allow our opponent to attack. Maybe I'm like talking myself out of the split after the fact. But geez, they're close. Yeah. It is hard to know in this one. So the plan when we split, of course, is trying to not be attacked, force our opponent to attack instead. We can anchor up on the 21 escape, all kinds of things. But, you know, we allow our opponent to roll through us, maybe like close us out and buy time to roll a deuce and escape that way. When we play down, we're saying at least like they can't attack through us. But we might end up like primed and cracking ourselves. So ace deuce. This doesn't even know what it wants to do, especially now that we made the 8 point. Is funny. Yeah, what does it want to do? Like the ace hitting, I guess sending a third back is something. I don't know. Yeah, it allows us to keep the rest of the structure in place without leaving it direct. There's some logic to that. Not the desired play by a long shot, though. Everything else is just stepping up to the edge and such or attacking. So he's still not at the edge of the prime is the big problem. And Nodar gets the anchor on the 21 now. Okay, so this is a very strong position for him. Felix going to need some magic aces to top pass here. 3-2 is just going to safety up to the 8 point and wait for another chance to escape from the rear. And Nodar, not really under any pressure, would happily slot the back with a 4 and try to find his 6 prime here. 2-1, whatever distribution is going to... I guess it contains best if we play both from outside. I don't really know. I don't think there's a big difference between 10 or 11 and 12. And no ace up. This is going to destroy a lot of structure for Felix. So the 6 in, the 8 to 2. Then do we want to point on head to buy time? Yeah, I guess so. And so he just hopes that his opponent fans, and while his opponent's fanning, he can step up with the ace and run out with the 6. But it's getting tough for Felix. Well, Nodar fans anyway. We're a long way from him cracking or not being able to attack anyway, so I think that is a good thing. 6-5 clears another point. One step closer to cracking and being just completely out of this one, Felix is. Not only needs an ace, but needs an ace that doesn't crack and a 6 in short order afterward. 3-1 doesn't enter at least. Had some chances to get up to the edge there and passed him up for other plays though, so might be regretting that now. 5-5 is going to clear another point. Well, it doesn't look like we can leave a shot and board at least when we don't step up, but okay, 6 is going to come out and contain the outfield. This is looking very good for Nodar to take the championship home for Georgia, but Felix gets a really nice stepping up roll, and now he's going to have some 6s to step out next time. Not so fast. Nodar gets to hit off the edge. 3 from the roof is huge for Felix here. Could be enough to like keeps him alive in the match, and if he doesn't, then he might just be dead at this point. Huge shake for him, and the 2-6 enters a little deeper. So at least when his opponent wants to cover from the 8, you know, the 5s aren't as good. A little bit of life there. Double aces, no need to hit. We can just slop the back. I guess it leaves a really good 8-6, so maybe that's too much to leave. I don't know, but 13-9 feels like a very natural priming theme here. Then we have 6s to cover the front and 5s to cover the back, and everything looks good. Oh, 6 up was scary, but it's a 2-6. I think we want to keep a spare on the 5, yeah, so I would probably play 3 to ace here. And what do we get? 4-2 is going to cover, and now we have the 6 prime all but dead. I don't know what it's going to take for Felix to win this one. He's going to have to create the speed board, leave no more shots, enter quickly after he's closed out, roll the 6s to come around, something like this, and that's about all he has left. So, or get some disaster cracking sequence from Nodar. But Nodar in the driver's seat to be the champion here in a very exciting match. 6-2 comes up and prepares to hit off the edge. 5-3 does nothing. 6-1 is going to bring another checker in range. Okay. No moves on the 6-3. 4-3 is going to hit off the edge. The 3 can step up. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I guess we're happy to break our 8 to cover. But in case we get hit on the deuce, then we're well positioned to hit back. So 2 in. Going to clean up another point. Near maximum speed board achieved for Felix. And Nodar never really in a DMP game thinking about trying to shake a second checker loose. It just gives chances to anchor, which are going to win more often, and we don't benefit off the gammons. So I don't think you want to break your prime to switch here, so he's just going to come around and get ready to attack off the edge. I like that decision. 3-1, one more on the ace. And 6-6 rolls forward for the perfect closeout. The next 6-6 leaves a shot, though. With 2 checkers off, though. 3-3, 2-3, perfect distribution. Got it. Yeah, this is going to take a checker off, and we could clear, which looks pretty safe long term. Or we can definitely leave no shots right now and have like a 1-roll 0 position. He's going to take 2 more off. Not sure if it was worth the long-term safety to maybe get off the 6 there. Close stuff. 3-2 is going to clear nicely. And look at this, 99% to win pretty much. It all starts with a set of 6s here. A fan is going to nearly close the door there. 3-1 could clear safely, but I guess taking one off it avoids that risk of losing a race. And 5-3. No shot levers yet. 6-2 is going to even out even more nicely. And 5-5 is okay. Going to come around and make a threat for it anyway. He's going to need a lot more sets than that. Maybe a lot of 2-1s to help from Nodar too. Five, 3. Anything that takes those 3 checkers off and avoids misses on the ace and deuce are huge for Nodar. And 5s, okay. Well, if it's possible, that got closer. Still 3 rolls away. And Nodar is 2 rolls away. Can't be done. And there you have it. That's going to be Nodar Gagua is going to be your first Loutraki Grand Prix champion. Edging out as the grand finalist of Felix Ziva with a really great run in this tournament too. Congratulations to both players for making it this far. Really exciting finals match there. Could have gone either way really in the end there. It was super close, well balanced, and yeah, I mean, crazy shoot up for Nodar after being kind of behind for quite a ways there. Arda congratulating the winners there. Stefanos congratulating the winners, the organizer of the tournament too, getting videos and pictures. Such exciting stuff. Big hug from the supporter there. I don't know who that is for sure. Someone in the cheering fan. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, this match progression here too. We'll look at this. So exciting for Nodar. I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure he's won tournaments before. He's been playing forever. But this is a big one to win. 87 player field. Quite a bit of money up top. So congratulations to him. Celebrations will be coming soon, I'm sure. But I mean, look at that. Never give up in backgammon, right? He got dragged all the way down to this point where he was under 10% match winning chances. Yeah, 8 away, 1 away Crawford, right? He passed down to the Crawford game. So he's down to under 7%. And then just found this like crazy run up the cliff. Just would manage to be able to win everything from that Crawford game on to get all the way back to winning. So the less than 7% comes through. You know, it feels like that kind of stuff happens in backgammon way more often than it's supposed to. Tough one for Felix to have the match in hand and just not be able to close it out. But well played by him, well played by them both. Super exciting stuff. That's going to wrap it up for me for this weekend. Thanks everyone who's joined into the stream all weekend and watched. We're up to over 120, almost 130 people for the close of this. Exciting stuff. I really appreciate everyone's participation and all your support for all the streaming I do. So thank you. Thank you to all the staff out there and all the sponsors at Club Hotel Casino Rocky and Loutraki and Opax Mind Games that made this happen. Stefanos and Arda for running the tournament. And we'll be back with more in the future. Bye for now, everybody.